Okay, we are back, if a little bit late, in the Sunless Sea. Last time we were here, we had just gone and done quite a few quests back and forth. We'd gotten access to the Khanate, and we'd finally found a really good trade run in the form of a run between... let's see, what was it? I believe it was the city of Nook, the underwater kind of town-based in the mouth of that gigantic sea beast on the Z floor, where we could trade out our, I want to say, trophies, our our hunting trophies. Or was it live catches? I can't quite remember. Essentially, we went from the Utter Shroom to the Chelonit to Nook to the Chelonit? Or some triangle of the three. I can actually go check in our undersea economy here. So I believe the Chelonit was where we would end up with what was ultimately... Let's take a look here. Caskets of sapphires. That is 99 echo from the Chelonit. And we'd sell a good stack of them, which I believe we traded in Nook. Ah, yes. So we take 7 casket of supplies from Nook. We go and drop those off in the Chelonit and sell them for 99 echoes apiece. And the way we get that was getting sunlight-filled mirror catch boxes, which we can do in Aestival. And that's how we have accumulated a fair bit of wealth now. We have also talked to our Clattery heir about her father. We've now accumulated enough Clattery souvenirs to go and successfully convince her 100% that her father is not actually Mr. Iron, but her father is in fact the fellow that we met way back in the beginning in Venderbite, who informed us of his nature in relationship to the Clattery heir, though admittedly without proof. So could absolutely be lying about that. That said, I feel like that's probably the truth. And considering we have a 100% chance of success here, so we won't possibly lose her, according to the check at least, I think we would be okay to go tell her. But I have been told to do that first before I go to Adam's Way. And in Adam's Way, we have the Clattery Heart, which is a ship, I believe, that her mother put something from the bazaar in London into. So we'll go and find that, and we'll try to trade up our ship here. Other than that, we do have to still get... Let's see if he's still here. Yes. The Merchant Venturer. We do have to get his approved or unapproved romantic literatures. Probably unapproved. I'm not sure what the approving process is. I haven't seen any approved romantic literatures, at least. But if we get 7 romantic literatures, he'll pay us 1,000 echoes for it. And those we can get in the Khanate, which we now have access to for the markets there. And that's pretty much that. We still need to go to Savior's Rocks, which is where the rather terrifying wreck of the Nocturne is, surrounded by spiders, and that we can get spider silk there, but we would need to get 21 spider silk, which is a whole lot more than our current cargo capacity can handle. So we're going to leave that for when we eventually come to the Clattery Heart, and hopefully when we pick that up. So I think our current plan right now is to sail down to Adam's Way via some direction. We have to hopefully grab that. We might stop off in Varkas, because we did set everybody off on a pilgrimage. There was nothing interesting that it gave us at the time of pilgrimage, but perhaps when they arrive, when they come back, we'll be able to go get something from that pilgrimage that we managed to wave them off on. We've also discovered last time that the Dawn Machine has actually been here the whole time, trapped at the bottom, the southwest portion of the map. Yes, southwest portion of the map. There's just been a giant, like, rotating clock thing over there. And we're not sure if we can dock at it. I didn't see any docking areas. I should have sent out a bat, but I was very concerned about the Grand Geode shining dreadnoughts that were around there, so I didn't really want to take that on at the moment. But I think what we're going to go for this time is at least getting that clattery heart in Adam's Way. We have been told that apparently, once you get it, it'll automatically change your ship over. So I could go and trade my ship out for the ship that only has 1 hit point, but I definitely don't think I'll do that. That's just way too big a risk. I don't mind the loss of effectively 1,000 echoes, more effectively 500 echoes. Really doesn't bug me. I can get back 500 echoes easy peasy by going from Aestival to Nook to the Chelanet and just doing that little triangle over and over again with Dahoot as our stopping point in that sort of area for fuel and supplies and what such, because they have pretty good prices over there, which is a replica of Fallen London, I believe, under the water made by Drownies. It may or may not have something to do with, I want to say, illusions of some sort, because the Drownies at the Fathom King's Hold gave us, let's see if we can find it, the white molly flower. And apparently if we eat it, we can break an illusion at Dahoot, but we don't know which illusion. And Dahoot, their description there mentions that we can gain a lot of terror very fast over there. So I don't think we'll do that. I think we'll just accept the trades that they're giving us, and then we will pick up the fuel and supplies and stuff and not look too much deeper into that. But that is our current plans. We do, let's see, check our hold here. We do want to maybe sell off these sack of dark drop coffee beans, these sacks here, because we want to take that space and fill it up with firkins of prisoner's honey, because we can take these strange catches into the Uttershroom with firkins of prisoner's honey, and something awaits us. We can go turn those all into, do we have one here? Yes, a live specimen here. And I think that does take up our something awaits us. We can't do that ad infinitum, but with a live specimen, we can then go over to the Gant Pole, which is right next to the Chelanet, trade that live specimen for 7 strange catches, and then have effectively many, many more strange catches that we can then turn into the Uttershroom to turn them back into live specimens again. We do need at least 2 live specimens for the Chapel of Light up here. For our sigil-ridden navigator. His quest, for some reason, requires that we deliver 2 live specimens to that instead of the other option, which is if we were particularly peckish, unaccountably peckish, I believe, then we would be able to trade our sailors for him in there instead. I don't really want to feed my sailors to some church-going folk in the dark church of the northern side, so I'm probably going to go for that live catches, especially since we have such an easy way of getting them now at the Uttershroom. Beyond that, though, we have the 6th Witness. We do have to fight some creatures for the fading Haruspecs, I believe, at the Gant Pole. Behemoth Sashes, Beloveds, Tristelligants, and Phthalates. All of which I know of the Behemoth Stashes, that's the only one I really know of, is a pretty chunky beast, a pretty chunky sea creature, so I don't really want to fight that until we've got at least that clattery heart ship. They will definitely end us, and it was actually a Behemoth Stash that ended our last captain, the sister of Sir Madam Helgen, Madam Sir Helga, so we don't want to go for that. Other than that, I think we are pretty good to set out. So I'm going to sell off our sack of dark drop coffee beans. Maybe at least one of them. We do need the Foxfire Candle to gain access to Savior's Rocks, but I don't know if I'm going to go there quite yet. And we do need to deliver this fellow to the Principles of Coral. Supplies are looking so-so. They're not looking great, but they're not the worst thing in the world either. I think we can deliver this fellow to Coral once we eventually get up there. That'll be right by Nook. Yeah, so Port Cecil. Have I been saying Port Coral the whole time? I think that's Principles of Coral. Principles of Coral is where Port Cecil is. So we'll be able to deliver him up there when we start doing our Aestival Nook Chelonit deal, should we need more money or anything like that. And one thing that we may finally get to do once we get the Clattery Heart over here at Adam's Way is finally go up the Cumaean Canal. We might actually have enough fuel, considering how many islands we tend to visit when we're going fully across the sea. Enough port reports, which we can then turn into fuel, and enough supplies to actually make it up to the surface. Now, we have one location on the surface that we absolutely need to visit, and that, I believe, is Naples. Yes, that is Naples for Maybe's daughter, who is looking for her mother. We've cleared every other location in the Neath right now, and now we need to head up to the surface to Naples to see if she's there. If she's not, honestly, that's the last of that. That's the only location we haven't checked yet. So we've got to go do that, and we do still need to clean up the last edge of this map and find Hideaway, which I have been told is somewhere on the eastern side of the map, which we don't have very much of left to explore. It is apparently a underwater location, so we do need to find that, but other than that, we're pretty good. So let's go and set out. I think we'll head, once I get all the sail completed, sell that dark drop coffee bean. We'll keep one on us, just in case. We'll buy at least 2 firkins of prisoner's honey, and that'll be all we have room for anyway. And then I think we're good on pretty much everything. We don't have a ton of supply, but we do have a fair bit. We've got enough, I think, to get us out there. And we've got plenty of fuel. We have got an absurd amount of fuel, much more than we can really tolerate at the moment. So I think our current path out is going to be going to the south, maybe stopping by Port Carnelian for supplies or anything of that nature. Heading over to Adam's Way to go and finally clear the ship. We do need, we check in our hold, either recent news or, which we do have, or port reports for Mount Palmerston, which I don't believe we have. It has been a little while since we've gone there. We might want to go back to go talk to the wistful Deviless, who did regret her stay up there. She did send us back to Fallen London to meet these fellows, the Brass Embassy, which is the embassy of hell in Fallen London, and we delivered a message there that was kind of sitting in our throat that was sort of a demon. It was very strange. So we do want to report back to her and see what she has to say. Maybe she'll have us deliver her here? Not quite sure. But she was evidently not having a good time over in Mount Palmerston, up on the edge of that, the lip of that volcano up there. But I think that's all good. I think that's all we can do. We could hire some more crew. In fact, I might. Considering our current crew standard, we did run out completely of crew, for which we had to trade our only Scintilic to go and trade for a crew member to get back to full speed over in Fathom King's Hold. So I will go grab a single Zailor. That'll reduce our terror and subtract some echo, but that's okay. And I think that's all we can do here. Don't have any more room for port report turns in. We should be good to that once we get that Clattery Heart. And I think we're just about good to set off. So let's go launch to the Sunless Sea here. Get ourselves down to the south. Oh, you know what I should have done? I'm actually going to turn around and do that. We should have healed up our ship, because our ship's hull is at 60 to 75. It's not completely low, but it is a little too low for me to be comfortable with. Considering we're interested in trading our ship out, though, maybe this would be a waste of echo. And 60 out of 75 is most of the way there. It's about 80%, I'd say, of 75. So maybe we'll keep that actually. Yeah, I think we will actually keep that. We'll go and set off and make our way slowly over to Adam's Way. So we'll probably skip over Mutton Island. We do just get sent away from there. But maybe it's worth just the fuel from that port report. Since I'm pretty sure it's been taken over by the folks from the Grand Geode, and it is pretty much right in our direction of travel anyway. Okay, we'll stop off there. I've convinced myself against my own previous plans. We'll go and stop off quickly at Mutton Island, and probably take out this crab to reduce some terror as well. Just go take him out with a single shot, it should be. There we go. We'll grab him to clear our hunger. Lovely. Which will save us a bit of food. We were just about maxed out there. So that was a pretty convenient one. They are under new management from the very shiny people. Oh, right. We can't even grab the port report from there. I've totally forgotten about that. Then down to the Command Canal, where we might be able to... Oh dear, we've gotten nightmares again. Okay, that's fine. We've got restful nights to combat that. I believe we have 2 in store. So we should be able to just flee right away from that. That'll be okay. I'll head down to the Command Canal, though, and go pick up, hopefully, a move in the Great Game. If not, just a Memory of Distant Shore, or a Visions of the Surface, I believe, which we could trade in Vendor Bite should we ever end up there. We'll go take down this other crab while we wait. May not be quite as worth butchering it, but... No, we'll just dissect it. With our supply, or our food consumption at only 10 out of, I believe, 50 is when it gets used up. We'll just let it be. One thing that I am a little worried about trading in our ship here, we have never gotten a ship upgrade in any of the captains that we've ever been to, or been playing as, I suppose. We've never managed to get a ship upgrade, and that I am concerned about, because though we do have upgraded engines, I don't know if how engine power and like ship size and capacity and all that sort of thing, how they exactly interact. So we may be underpowered at speed with our new ship here. We may have to upgrade our engine, but that is what our extensive collection of echoes is for. We have quite a bit of echo. We'll go grab the port report. Yep, nothing has changed. We'll go use our Something Awaits Us. Sweet, to get another move in the Great Game. And so we are good. Let's head on out. We could kill this Jellyfleur, which we might just do for the terror reduction. Our terror's not very high at all, but it's always nice when we're heading to the far shore to go and reduce it anyway. Now, I think he may get a good hit off on us if we get unlucky here. No. Looks like we'll be okay. Alright, we'll go scoop it up for some more supply. Yep. Oh dear, I've just realized something. Did we ever pick up that frickin' prisoner, Sonny? Okay, we did. We absolutely did. Wonderful. So we'll go head on down to the Iron Republic and see which market is open today. We may get some more fuel. This is the cheapest it'll ever be, so it's probably a good idea to stock up now. That said, we don't have that much cargo space in the first place. No, I think it's better to have fuel than and have to cast it overboard than to not have it when we absolutely need it, or to have to buy it at exorbitant prices elsewhere. So we will make our way over to the Iron Republic. Hopefully we won't gain too much terror over here. But we'll at least grab a port report, which will probably set itself on fire in the Admiralty's office. Alright, parts don't change, Tale of Terror gained, Memory of Distant Shores gained, and the market we can now open. That gave us some terror. Let's see which market is in town today. Looks like the House of Milks is actually present. We could buy sacks of Dark Drop coffee beans. I don't think we will. That is the same price that we can get them for in Port Carnelian anyway, so it's not a huge deal to go and have them And we're not really trading them to the leopard clan anymore. We've already gotten our, well, everything figured out with that. And I think it'll be better to go with the Tiamat because we can get Drowny Pearls for 30 echoes over into Hoot, and that's right by there. And the Tiamat can influence the leopard clan as well. So we'll just fill up on fuel instead. Perfect. And with that, we'll head out to just straight across to Port Carnelian here. We don't need to visit the Grand Geode. I don't really want to visit those folks because they're definitely up to something, and it's definitely not above board. They seem to have some sort of control over the Admiralty. I believe it's actually the connection they have with the Spy Master. I can't quite recall her title. But the Spy Master, every time we have turned in a port report to her, the Grand Geode has gained more. The Dawn Machine folk have gained more influence over the sea. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. We did have an event where the... I think we were at Port Cecil, or somewhere thereby, where the Dawn engine, or estimatably where it came from, sort of lit up, actually, and lit up the whole Neath. We didn't actually look at it. We kind of averted our eyes and looked around. But it was definitely an interesting event, to be sure. Not sure what it means for our existence around here, or the existence of the Dawn engine, but it was certainly an event to take note of. Looks like a dust storm is building over here. And there, I believe, are the two vortex seas of Port Carnelian. Oh, this dust storm is actually kind of going by there. I wonder if we'll get slowed. If we go into the dust storm proper, it will be cutting our engines to half, and I don't know if we can escape the vortex seas with any of that happening. But it looks like we're just skirting the worst of it. Interesting. I wonder what that's all about. I'm not sure if the dust storms are just weather patterns in the Neath, or if they actually indicate something a little more than that. Let's go docked in Port Carnelian. We can grab a port report from the Khanate official, I guess. And we can check with our spy network here. We have currently 4. Could spend echoes there, or we could drop some Tales of Terror, which we will definitely do. We've got tons of Tales of Terror to increase our influence over Port Carnelian. An asset once forthcoming has grown reticent. A cautionary tale. You tell the asset who perspires appropriately of the bloody rites conducted in Storm's temple at the Chelinet. How they are always looking for celebrants, willing or unwilling. The requirements are meager, bones to break, a voice to scream. Your asset is eager to change the subject. Here come the secrets they owe you, gushing like spray from the cracked drain pipe. So we've lost 7 Tales of Terror. We still have 8, so we've got plenty. And we've gained more influence, I believe. Yes, we now have 5 influence. Let's see if we can gain 6. If it's just that echo... No, it looks like it's not. Looks like both these opportunities are not great. We don't want to trade a Searing Enigma, considering how difficult it is to get them. Apparently, somebody named the Banded Prince would be our the contact there. I don't know if that's any flavor text or if that's an actual character, but we won't be engaging him at the moment. And Sating of Fervence. Apparently, the Khanate wants some Judgment's Egg, which we can get in Irem and the Iron Republic, though we haven't seen it in the Iron Republic at least. It's probably a specific market, and we just haven't focused on it. But they are very difficult to get, and Irem is quite a ways away, so I think I'm actually going to trade both of these out. These are both very valuable objects, so we'll use our Something Awaits Us to see if we can find something the next time we come here. Now, what to get now that we are here? We could buy fuel. This is probably going to be one of the cheaper places to get fuel while we're out at sea. Could buy caskets of sapphires to sell over at the Chelinet. It'll take up space, but it will be worth a little bit more. But considering we're going to trade sunlight boxes, which we do still need to get, we need to buy some more of that for caskets of sapphires, it may not be worth it.
We'll hold off on it for now. We'll, well, will we? Let's get fuel and supplies first. I want to keep our fuel up, and we'll get supplies here because they'll probably be the cheapest here. Outside, they're going to be much more expensive. So we'll get them. We'll get to 8, 9 supply. We get to 9 supply to be safe, and we'll max out our fuel, which unfortunately leaves no room for the sapphires. Though we could buy solace fruits for an exorbitant rate. Don't really need that right now. Because they don't take up hold space. They just sit as cargo, kind of exist. But we'll go and set out of Port Carnelian. All we have is done there. We'll go and make our way over to Adam's Way, which is just about level with us. We do have to curve around a peak here. And the possibility of encountering those blue birds that kind of flap around is also present and a little worrisome. But it doesn't look like they are here right now. Now, I do know this area has not quite anything interesting. Maybe later, but there's Port Addy down here, which I'm very confused by. Maybe that's an underwater port, maybe it's something like that, but there's sort of an inlet here that shows off a lot of locations, but none of them are really locations that we can dock at. They just are named that way, and it seems like our Z-Bats tends to agree, though we may just be out of range. Now I've entered a fog bank. So I think we're close enough to shore here that we're okay. We are not gaining terror, we're losing it, because we're right by the shore here. So we should be alright. Igel is just above us. I don't think we have any reason to visit there. We do have a few things. We got basically a fetch quest in the similar vein to Colors from the first curator, but we got a similar thing from the Fathom King, King of the Drownies, for information about our father's demise in King Eater's castle over the southeast side of the map. So we do have quite a few things to get to him. Some of them are pretty difficult, like Hardamount Nomad or the Tree of Ages. Both seem like very difficult tasks to accomplish. A brilliant weapon, not sure exactly what that is. Mirror catch box of sunlight is pretty easy to get at the very least. There are a few things like that. An officer with a finished quest we've actually got. We've got the Brisk Campaigner, who has... We've cured her of her animescence, I want to say. So that is that. The Eldest's End is probably the death of the first curator, so we'll have to finish his quest first. And the Fruit of the Eternal Tree, not quite sure what that is. We're assuming that that has something to do with grabbing a seed from Adam's Way. So if we manage to succeed in that, maybe we'll take a look at it and see what happens. Intercept it on the way from the tree to the ground. But we've never managed to do that. That is just a luck check. And right now, we want to speak to the Clattery Heir. So, we will now go push her about meeting her father now that we have enough Clattery souvenirs to guarantee us a success here. So let's try to convince her that her father is not Mr. Iron. She is clinging to this idea. Hard to let go. Her mother is not the concubine of a master. Her father will never bring her knife, steel tempered, and a baby star. Her lineage is merely human. Her city is only the mortal city that fell first into the bazaar. She must give up waiting for an unimaginable future to blossom of its own accord. The two of you speak about it late into the night, and then she goes into her operating room with a scalpel and a mirror. When she comes out, she has her small toe preserved in a whiskey jar, and a happy indifference to the question of her parentage. So she's gone and cleared that out. What can we now do here regarding the Clattery Heart? I guess it must be for when we actually encounter it, which we have seen an option for in Adam's Way. But let's go talk to her about the Clattery Heart now. And would she care to claim her inheritance at all? Too casual. Last my mother heard it was in Adam's Way or somewhere further into the Elder Continent. It might still be Z-worthy in its day. It was a most unusual ship. Do I want it back? I try not to want anything too much, but if you cared to travel in that direction, I could hardly stop you. When you wait long enough, she says a little more. I avoid obsessions myself, but I know one of these days I will have to operate on myself, remove some desire that has gotten too unwieldy. And we know exactly which one she ended up removing. Desire for parentage. So we have gotten that. I guess this is the exact same text as we got the last time we talked to her about it. So this is just pointing us to the location. Let's go into Adam's Way here. We'll go turn in our recent news to get in and discuss the Clattery Heart with the local peoples once we get a chance. We also try to grab another seed, just in case. And now that we've been allowed entry, the tree of a single day has been planted for our time here. Let's go. Well, let's go ask about the Clattery Heart. Clattery Heir insists it was last seen in the Elder Continent. Asks the storytellers. The Clattery Heart. Yes, it was here. A previous owner zailed it as far up the river as it would go, then submerged it and covered its resting place in reeds. There, its ichor bled into the water. The river fish began to throw themselves on shore and hobble about on their fins. Oh, walking fish. Interesting. At first, the local fishermen welcomed an easy harvest, but in time they came to dislike the disruption of the permanent rotting smell. Then, but how the heart departed and where it went are another story. Clattery Heir listens without looking, her gaze fixed on the flowering of the tree. So do we have to... Let's see. Do we have to use up all of our day talking about the Clattery Heart? We might actually have to. We'll do this. We'll drop back here if it... because this we can do up till time of 3. And this we can do up to the time of 4. I don't want to waste my day here, though. Maybe we'll follow this to its end and kind of ignore everything else. So let's ask the storytellers about the Clattery Heart's departure. If it's no longer in the river, where did it go? Hacked free. The people who lived on the banks of Adam's Way brought the Clattery Heart to the surface and made it fit to Zail again. There was no one who wanted to voyage in her, so they chose a crew by lot and chained them to the deck, ordering them to Zail north until they had left the Elder Continent, then keep zailing as far as they could go. Clattery Heir is still looking into the middle distance, but the corners of her mouth have turned down. The storyteller is milking the story, and she knows it. How dare she? And now we have to decide. Will we use all of our day talking about the Clattery Heart, or do we try to catch another nut? This will be the last chance we have to catch it, so I'm going to fully commit to the Clattery Heart. It's probably going to waste our entire day, but hopefully this will give us a trail on it. So let's ask the storytellers about how to retrieve the Clattery Heart. Is there any word of where she might be now? Khan's shadow. One can't be certain, but ships that cannot zail any longer often find themselves huddled into Khan's shadow. You might look there. Perhaps the presence of the Clattery Heart would even make those other broke-down ships eager to move again. Okay, well, we know at least where it is. We unfortunately lost our opportunity to catch that nut. And I suppose we can just spend our last time. We don't want to gather at the funeral feast. That is just a cannibalism feast for somebody who's fallen. I think we will go listen to a storyteller and get a port report from Adam's Way. Ignore the gaudy entertainments intended to defraud visitors. Past the street hawkers, they will only tell you what you want to hear. Shun the tavern gossip, most of which is fabricated by the Mithridate office, the Prester's propagandists. The buzzing of the bees, climb the stairs cut into the hill, sit at the foot of the bee-capped stone mountains. They will shield you from the southern mountain heat. Be quiet, listen, old storytellers share the shadow. The Prester is on the verge of declaring the Dawn Machine a blasphemy. London's bureaucracy is riddled with the children of the Thief of Faces. An expedition of foreigners recently put to shore to the west, then went south in search of the garden. They were discovered and given to the Red River. We actually know of the Thief of Faces. We retrieved one from Port Carnelian, I want to say, who was under the impression that he was actually in the employ of the London bureaucracy. So they're not actually wrong there. But we've at least compiled a port report of Adam's Way. And now we are done. We must return to our ship, and we can no longer regain entry. At least at this point, to Adam's Way. Now, we could buy up. Fuel is the same price it was in Port Carnelian, and that's one of the better prices in the sea. Supplies, I think we're definitely good on. We are at 9, and even though we're most of the way up, I think that'll carry us for quite some time. I'm a little surprised that we didn't get Clattery Heart. I guess we shouldn't have expected the end of the trip to come quite so quickly, though, considering how many souvenirs we picked up and the distance we went traveling between them. I wouldn't call it quite quick, but we do have to get another fetch quest over in, I think it was Khan's Shadow? Yes. So we'll go write that down so we don't forget it. That's for the Clattery Heart. So we'll head up there. We're going in sort of that direction anyway, and that's a fair place to stop no matter what. We will buy up the rest of our fuel here. We'll just cap back out at 20. And I think we don't really need anything else bought or sold at Pelagast's post here, the shop in Adam's Way. For now, we'll head over to Varkas. Yes, Varkas. We'll head up through this blank area between Varkas and the Melting Isles once we're done there. I do possibly believe that the Admiralty wishes us to buy or drop by the Melting Isles for some information, though that could be an older one. It could be a quest from times past, because we have stopped by there a couple times already getting that information. But we'll stop by, at least in passing, just to go and talk to the folks there. Maybe pick something up from the shop or sell something. But that'll be after Varkas anyway, and we may spend quite a bit of time at Varkas, because it is a mirrored city, and we have quite a bit of information for that. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like we have to sail through this dust storm again, so it may take us quite a bit of time to get there. Yes. Hopefully this won't last all the way there. It does look like it's sort of traveling north. Perhaps that's just the texture of the storm cloud. Traveling at half speed is really not great. Uh-oh, we've been seen by something. What have we been seen by? I'd assume a ship of some type. Yep, there it is, a dreadnought. Oh, and that's actually... Is he within range? He's within range of us. Ooh, yes he is. We need to go. Let's burn some fuel. Man, that is a terrible place to get caught there. And he has really done some damage to us. We are in a dire straits if he manages to catch up. There's another dust storm in front of us. Are you kidding? This is absurd. At the hull capacity that we're currently at, we are actually going to probably lose crew members if we get hit again. So we'll have to take the utmost caution while traveling out here. Maybe I should have actually patched up the ship before we left Fallen London. We'll at least set into port over in Varkas. I don't think we'll have any option to repair our ship. Well, anywhere. I'm just hoping that when we get to Khan's Shadow, we can finally get the Clattery Heart and trade out ships. That'll hopefully repair our hull. Just set everything up to full here. So we'll have to pray that that is our best option. But now that we've returned to Varkas... Oh. This is new. The walled city of Varkas is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers slow blooming around moldering stone. A quincunx of carved stepped towers, still not sure what that word means, rise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A rough shadowed path leads from the docks to the mirrored gates of Varkas. Two towering carved stone lamps throw their light on the angled mirrors, and a blue cloaked guard, which we do know, stands in the reflected pool of light. The city is a beacon against the tree-hushed, sprawling darkness of the Elder Continent. In the far distance, a vast mountain glimmers, and we know that they take a pilgrimage to the vast mountain over there, the mountain in the south. So, we have been recognized by the guard again. This is generally different. Usually she's just like, hello again, but this time we get an, oh, it's you. The guard at the mirrored gates gives you a startled look. Clearly she remembers you. Up close, the blue-cloaked guard looks grimly fearful and wide-eyed. There are strange things going on in Varkas these days. She turns away. Sometimes I think Mihir has turned his gaze away from us forever. She seems to recollect herself all of a sudden and stands a bit straighter. You'll see for yourself, Tomas. Step lightly and walk in the light of Mihir. What? Whoa, this is super different. Okay, a plague of broken mirrors, cracked glass, and doused lamps everywhere. There are pools of shadow visible in the formerly shadowless city, and the Varkazi huddle together and avoid the dark spaces with fear twisting their faces. You see Varkazi clashing with white-cloaked guards in the streets, shouting slogans. They call themselves Neithers and wear pieces of broken mirror around their necks. Even the Temple of Mihir has not escaped their anger. Across the stone threshold, the Neithers have arranged thousands of glittering pieces of broken mirror into the words, "We have already fallen." The pilgrims are still away, and with them the Agnihotri and his council of sun priests. It is the perfect moment for a revolution, and what will you do? So we did get some hint of this. There was the young folk who gathered with us at their mansion, and they wanted to hear lies, essentially, of the Neith. Previously, our encounter had scared them, but apparently this is a bigger movement than just the 4 or 5 people that we were talking to. So, yeah, the jewel-turbaned youth, he was the fellow. Wow. This is very interesting. Let's hear out both sides before we do anything. Let's hear out the Neithers. What exactly do they hope to achieve? You're barely surprised to find that the jewel-turbaned youth is the leader of the Neithers. This is all because of you, Tomas, he tells you brightly. Your very presence in Varkas made us think and wonder and imagine. He turns to the other Neithers and holds up the shard of broken mirrors hanging around his neck by a thin thread. We deny the tyranny of Mihir and his priests and his high-born firekeepers. We refuse to isolate ourselves from the rest of the Neith any longer. We refuse to fear the dark and cower in the light. His voice raises to a roar. We are fallen. The Neithers shout their enthusiasm and hold up their mirror shards like banners. We are fallen, they cry. Well, they are certainly enthusiastic, but does that mean they are right? So he actually kicked off a revolution because of us, apparently. Oh, man. Well, let's hear out the Sun Priests, I suppose. They're all in the council at the Temple of Mihir. The Temple of Mihir is a war room. We cannot let Varkas fall into darkness, the oldest Sun Priest addresses the assembled guards and citizens. The Neithers have not simply turned away from Mihir's gaze, but they actively conspire with his enemies. A susurration goes through the crowd as the Sun Priest holds up a shard of broken mirror. They are enthralled to the parabolan powers who whisper through mirrors and entice through dreams and trickery. They are breaking the mirrors and dousing the lamps. If they are breaking mirrors, you point out, then how can they be in league with mirror lords? The Sun Priest gives you a pitying look. Oh, Tomas, what happens when you break a mirror? He snaps the mirror he is holding and holds the broken pieces in either hand. They glint jaggedly. You simply make more mirrors? I'm sorry, what? So the mirror lords are... I don't know what's up. They use mirrors to shine sunlight around their city. How are mirror lords against them then? Anyway, perhaps he's telling the truth, or perhaps he merely fears the Neithers and their desire to curtail the power of the temple to which he is sworn. That's it? That's everything we have. Okay. So we have 2 options here. We can either join the Mihirs, the Mihir priests, and that will presumably crush the revolution there. And there's... The city is essentially a religious zealot city. We never actually slept here while here, so we never determined what happens when you sleep, which I would really have loved to now, just to get knowledge of what exactly they're talking about with the mirror lords and the dreams and all that stuff. We were warned explicitly by the guard and the gate to not sleep and dream, and so we never did that. I really don't know what. I wish I could know the information of what that is. So they may not be factual. Obviously, we know that the Neath darkness is nothing in itself to be feared. There are lots of spooky things in the dark in the Neath, but there's nothing too specific about that to fear. So they're just kind of a religious group. That said, their civilization, they aren't, for the most part, restrictive to, I believe we're called Tamas. But they let us in their city. We kind of get to mingle with them. We get to talk with them. We never really experienced any sort of discrimination because of our categorization as a Tamas, as somebody who was not in Mihir's light. The Neathers, in the meantime, they are effectively, as far as we can tell, advocating for truth. They are going for, the ability to go out into the darkness, into the Neath, and go expand their influence beyond Vargas. But they're also going about it in a way that's kind of terrorizing the local populace. Yes, they are a populace controlled by religious zealotry and that whole deal, but they're also not really doing any harm, and they're kind of freaking them out. They're clearly, the city is at war. There's people caught in the crossfire. So we essentially get to decide whether we side with the establishment, who has good intentions but ultimately live a lie, or we can go side with truth, who is destabilizing a relatively populous city. Oh, man. Yeah, they're destabilizing a relatively populous city in search of truth. And no side is necessarily the good or bad side. It's a very difficult decision to make. I think I might side with Mihir's priests. Because though they're exuberant in their revolution here, the Neathers are basically destabilizing the city that was functioning totally perfectly. Maybe a little... maybe the city structure was a little imperfect, but it was a very functional city. Everything was very intact. There wasn't severe, as far as I could tell, discrimination of any particular parties. It was all going pretty well. I can't imagine the Neathers' revolution doing much good. Maybe after the dust settles and they come out on top, maybe they clear out some of that discrimination, because we did talk to, I believe, a fungus carter at the gate at one of our visits, and she was very concerned about something. She was concerned, I think, about her being infected with the fungus, something like that, and looking unhealthy, or something about not following Mihir's stuff. But it didn't seem like there were a ton of them. It was a widespread sort of thing. And kind of selfishly, Vargas has generally been a good place to go. I don't know if they've had a shop or anything in that nature, but there's been a lot here that... Oh man, this is a really difficult solution. This is really difficult to pick a side. Because the Neethers really do feel like, even though they're going for the truth, and even though outwardly, they would be objectively correct. Should I go with that? Should I stick with truth? And possibly inspire fear in the citizens that have essentially been raised by that? Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Oh man. Honestly, my thoughts immediately go to the guard outside, the guard who stands in the sunlight and stuff, because she has been our point of contact every single time we've gone into the city. She and the jewel turbaned youth have been the only two people we've come into contact with. She was just so nice, and like she wasn't super judgy or anything by the fact that we were Tomas. It was just a fact that was present, but not overbearingly so. But she was just so nice to us, and I think we will side with Mihir's priest after all. I think we will tell the Sun Priest where to find the jewel turbaned youth. Because as nice as the truth coming out would be, I don't think it would ultimately make Varkas a prosperous civilization, a stable civilization, or a, well, happy civilization overall. I think they were imperfect, but happy. And I think that is worth preserving over going for a full revolution here. Let's go for it. Even without the Agnihotri and the ruling council of Sun Priests, the Temple of Mihir is swift to act. The jewel-turbaned youth and the leaders of the Neethers are dragged into the burning light of the temple by a dozen guards. The Sun Priests form a ring in the middle of the temple under the statue of Mihir's watchful carnelian-eyed gaze. The Sun Priests begin to chant faster and faster, faster and faster, until your heart begins to hammer in time to their words. They douse lamp after lamp till they create a perfect circle of darkness bounded by their joined hands. One by one, the Sun Priests throw the revolutionaries into the shadow. The jewel-turbaned youth is the last to be thrown in, and he is weeping piteously. You are Tomas now, the Sun Priests declare. You have no name. The darkness has taken it from you. Mihir has turned his gaze away. Then they break the circle, relight the lamps, and simply turn away. That doesn't sound that bad. Like, I know religiousness cast out, the whole dealio is pretty traumatizing to those going in it, but I thought they were going to be killed. And considering their philosophy of, not needing to be in the light anymore, like they claimed that they wanted to rejoin the Neath and that sort of thing. They couldn't inspire the revolution for everyone, but now they are ultimately free to wander the seas and, go in shadow and stuff like that. So I think that was actually a really good outcome. I think for them, I hope they can perceive it like that. I hope we get the option to maybe take them as zailors or recruit them as an officer, something like that. Because I think that is probably one of the best outcomes that you could have for that. I really do. Maybe that's a little uninsightful, unempathetic. But honestly, I think that's a pretty good result of that. They're now free of their kind of binding religion, even if they are ultimately cast out. They're Tomas, like I am, and they had interest in me and that sort of thing. I have a feeling the turbaned youth is probably going to hold a bit of a grudge with us, so I don't think we'll be able to recruit him immediately, hopefully. I didn't mean to betray you. I mean, I did what I thought was right. That's ultimately all you can ever really do. Dang. Well, we gained a secret and we gained, I think, a memory of distant shore, something like that. Can we help out that jewel turbaned youth? I really would like to before I go, in some way. But anyway, now the light of Mihir shines bright. The Sun Priests come to you, flanked by guards. I think the oldest one says thoughtfully, that it is time for you to go, Tomas. You have caused enough disruption in our glorious city. Are you kidding? I helped you guys out. Oh my goodness. Really? Come on. Okay. You nod. It's good advice. Best to leave before the Agnihotri returns from the pilgrimage. You've learned a great deal here. The affairs of Varkas touch on the mysteries of the continent. Yeah, I thought I'd have a little bit more knowledge of that. I thought I'd get something from it. Come on. Really? Oh well. Walk in the light of me here, Tomas. The guard at the gate barely even looks up as she lets you out of the city. It burns beacon bright behind you. You walk down the dark, pebbled path that leads to the docks, feeling the familiar, shadowy bleakness of the Neath cool your skin. Your ship awaits. Man. I can't believe I... Was that the wrong choice to make? I don't know. That was such a difficult decision to make. Next time, if our captain succeeds or dies, our next playthrough, we should absolutely check out Varkas and nap there at least once. Okay, well, our Varkas the Mirrored City quality is now 4. We've gained a Memory of Distant Shores, and we've gained a Searing Enigma. So we at least got that. And now Varkas is closed to outsiders. Oh, there is a new settlement outside the city's walls. Interesting. The Purified City. The walled city of Varkas is a tangle of green vines and luminescent fungal flowers, slow blooming in moldering stone. Aqueducts of carved stepped towers rise over the walls and pour burning white light into the bleak sky. A rough shadowed path leads from the docks to the mirrored gates of Varkas. There is no fire burning in the towering stone lamps beside the gates, and no blue-cloaked guards. Varkas is barred to visitors. I guess we ultimately did what we set out to do, and also did what we absolutely did not want to happen. Hello, Lou. Which is that we closed off Varkas to us. And I guess we got the, that poor fella kicked out. But we apparently established a settlement outside, so we'll have access to something. No shops yet. But we'll at least compile a port report here. Gates are closed. The Admiralty will want to know. Perhaps the Neathers will prove useful to London. Maybe. Maybe. That's a bit depressing. That does not seem like we chose the good timeline here. That's unfortunate. But we'll go and set out to, let's say, we do have to go to Port Cecil. We also have to go to Aestival. We also have to go to Khan's Shadow. So let's set a path kind of muddling through. We'll go to the Melting Isles first. Then we'll go to the Wreck of the Nocturne here. We don't want to grab those that spider silk from them yet, but we can at least explore the Wreck of the Nocturne. So there's not much we can do there. Then we'll head up to, I suppose we'll head up to the Empire of Hands. We are helping them out with their airship because they want to head further east, I believe, to finally escape their islands, because there are multiple islands there. And we have been helping them kind of under the nose of the Admiralty. We'll also need to head to the Utter Shroom to go and change our strange catch into a live specimen. That's the one. We'll kind of zigzag back and forth here. We'll clear out some of this darkened area between some locations. I think we'll go Swallowing Isles, then across from the Utter Shroom to the Empire of Hands, up to Polythreme, Aestival, Nook, Khan's Shadow, and the Chalinet. That's sort of the direction we're going to take. But we'll go and head out there. Change the mod pack because the mod pack crashed and wouldn't work. That's unfortunate. And we need to head... Oh, can we head around this dust storm to clear out that area of darkened Z? There is a jelly shroom, a fully grown one, over there. That is in the middle of the storm. So we'll turn our lights off and we'll head through these killing waxwinds, apparently. Okay, so we've cleared out, actually, a ton of space here. Do you have the new ship yet? No, we did get information that it is now in Khan's shadow, evidently, but it's not, so we have to go there. And unfortunately, we sided, there was a revolution while the Agnihotri were gone. We sided with the priests instead of the jewel-turbaned youth in Varkas. He got thrown out, and now Varkas is closed to us. But we did receive a searing enigma. So we got that all settled out. Varkas is now closed to us. There's now a settlement presumably made by the jewel-turbaned youth. I thought it was a right decision to make. Maybe it wasn't. But now we're just sailing up to clear out this dark area. There it is. Just about cleared. And I think, yeah, we're in this fog bank here, so we can't really do much about that. Because this is on the way to the Swallowing Isles. Maybe we'll head to the east here. Clear our way out of it. So with our lamp on, do we... No, we're still gaining that double terror. Anything useful in Varkas? Well, like I said, we did gain a searing enigma. So we at least got that. We got that for our trouble. Varkas is now closed off to us, so we'll have to deal with that settlement outside of it. I felt really bad about that. I thought they would welcome us with open arms, but apparently, since we were quote-unquote the inciting factor for the revolution, that was all we had. But we now docked in Mangrove College. Anything useful that was in Varkas that you don't have anymore? Not really, just the city and access to it. I don't think they had any shops that we could actually interact with, but... What was that? We can go turn one of our memories of distant shores into a secret. I think that will be what we do. I'll go grab the port report, might as well. And we could go beachcombing. Let's go convert one of our memory of distant shores to a secret. Always a good time. And we can actually do it again, just once more. I think secrets are much better than memories of distant shores. Oh, those took 7. I thought that took 1. Okay. Pick some more of them if we head up to Irem. I don't think we should need them for anything, but... Okay, that was not intentional. Shall we go beachcombing? We could. Or we could gather supplies. Supplies are doing pretty well. No shops to speak of. Or we could just eat, drink, and be merry. It would reduce our terror. We're at 38, so that does become worrying once we get to 50. That is a little close. Let's go eat, drink, and be merry instead. The philosophers of the college are not hospitable, but this whole shoreline is bursting with fruit and edible fungus. Reach up, and it falls into your hand. Pick it up, and it's already fermented. Explosion of tastes. Tart morels and moral tart. The salty tang of Z-weed stew. A crawling berry that the locals assure you is a motile plant, not an insect. Eat your fill and drink contemplatively. We lose 10 terror. Okay, that's pretty good. But that'll be all we can do here. Now head across to Savior's Rocks and the multitude of spiders that exists over there. That crab is huge and probably very powerful, so I'm not going to mess with him at all. We'll turn our lamp off after we exit the shore here. Make sure that crab doesn't see us. Go and make our way over to the wreck of the Nocturne and to Savior's Rocks, crowded with all those spiders. Hopefully this crab won't see us at all. He's kind of following us, but no, I think he's just kind of patrolling back and forth. So yeah, you can see all those spiders. All those spiders creeping around on the aisle. A floating strand of web caresses your face. The air hints at spiders. Yeah, no kidding. And we get to go visit the wreck of the Nocturne, which has a bunch of spider webs all over it. But we have our Foxfire candle, so we can explore. The wreck of the Nocturne, shrouded with shadows, wrapped with webs. This webbed hulk of a once proud vessel refuses to be dragged beneath the black waves. Board this empty mausoleum. Superstitions of the Z give even cynical sailors pause before ransacking half-drowned vessels. Still, nothing in the code prohibits indulging curiosity. So let's go take a look. An insult to salt? The fate of the Nocturne is well known and proven by the webs stretching across its battered hull. Aside from those and a few signs of struggle, the contents lie mostly undisturbed. After all, what use have the masters of Savior's Rocks for trinkets, baubles, gold, and gems? If the crew and passengers were lucky, they become a shout rises from the crew. Their eyes locked in horror at a sailor caught slipping a jeweled trinket onto his unmentionables. Uh-oh. Before you can do anything, his crewmate have him by all the limbs, hurling him in his cursed plunder to join the drownies in the black. None may steal from a half-drowned ship. There is no gold in the Z worth salt's ire. Only sacrifices absolves. Okay, well, we lost crew. I honestly thought that this would be the dock for the Savior's, what is this? Savior's something? Savior's Rocks. I honestly thought that this would be a dock for that. I guess we have to go somewhere over here to do that. Interesting. That was an extreme nope if I've ever seen one. Yeah, no kidding. Have you found the hidden area yet, also? I assume you're talking about Hideaway. No, we do know it's somewhere here. I was planning on heading to the Utter Shroom afterwards, after doing this, but apparently since this isn't necessarily where we want to go, I might change the path. Go to down along this way, up along here to the Empire of Hands, then go across to the Utter Shroom, up to Polythreme or Eisteval. Probably up to Polythreme first, just grab the port report. Then head to Eisteval to Hoot somewhere in there to refuel Port Cecil to drop off our passenger from the Melting Isles over here. It needs to be dropped off at Port Cecil, then head to Nook, deposit that. Khan's Shadow to possibly grab the ship, and then the Chelinet to drop off our catch of supplies there. I think you need to explore Savior's Rocks before exploring the wreck. Probably. I didn't realize how expansive they would be. I thought that that would be kind of the meeting place that we could go and talk to the spiders at. We're going to go sail under these webs, which seems like a terrible idea. Please don't board my ship, spiders. God, it's making shivers run down my spine as I, like, sail through this area. Oh my god, what is that? Tree of Ages. Okay, I guess the Tree of Ages is another ship thing? It looked like a ship? What the hell was that? I guess we know where we can find the Tree of Ages if we wanted to fight that. It has 900 health. I think that is the most health I've ever seen in any ship or monster or anything in this game. And it looks rather alive. Your hull is really low. Yeah, it is very low. We got, unfortunately, attacked by a dreadnought while we were under the effects of a dust storm, so we couldn't move at full speed. That looks very much alive. I'm going to take a wide berth from that. Turn off our light as we sail into the fog here. Yeah, just let that chill right up there. And we'll hug the island so as to avoid that. The ship is completely black here. No coral, no nothing. We might as well start sending out Z-bats. And nothing within range. We have reached the eastern edge. So we'll keep periodically sending out Z-Bats as we patrol up this eastern edge of the map. We may have to buy fuel at the Empire of Hands. Oh, this is a dock? The Nativity. Whoa, what is this? Scent of Z, salt and frost and cellars, black spices. Oh, so this must be the dock for Savior's Rocks. Well, let's see what they have. Oh boy, there's spiders. Savior's Rocks. The sound of their constant motion is like pebbles on a beach. Let's go look at the shop first. Let's go check out the shop. Just calmly write down what nice little trades they have. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're at... Well, does it show the Nativity out here? Savior's Rocks, maybe? I'll mark it down as both. Savior's Rocks / the Nativity. Oh man, my hand is shaking. That's how spooked I am by all these spiders. Whoever did the art for this, you did it well. You did it amazingly. I hate you. The only thing we can get here is fuel for outside Fallen London Standard, 20 echoes, which will sell for 1. And supplies, same deal, outside Fallen London Standard of 30 echoes and selling for 5. Nothing to do. Don't explore, this seems bad. I mean, I have to explore a little bit. I don't know which of these I want to go for. Scuttering Reaches or preparations for the Festival of Silk. So I guess if we had a cask of mushroom wine, we'd be able to get a port report here. Apparently we can assist with the delivery of trinkets. Well, let's read through this properly. Preparing for the Festival of Silk, the glumness of the Nativity is broken by the reds and golds and freshly hung banners. Spider-worshipping weavers and widows guide the traders in readying their celebration of gratitude to the generous neighbors that silently watch over them from the shadows. So we can assist with the festival preparations. Heck no, we are not sending anybody ashore here. Not right now, not with our crew at the level that it is, and not with the spooked levels that I am at. We can trade supplies for silk. Fine silk of Savior's Rocks is the most coveted in the Neath. There can be no better time to acquire some without the usual trader's markup. If we had some mushroom wine, we could compile a port report. The silk traders of the Nativity know better than to risk loose chatter. Still, a little contribution to their festival may loosen their tongues. Or we can assist with a delivery of quote-unquote trinkets. An almost entirely legitimate silk trader urgently requests your help with a delivery to Fallen London. How is our hold space going? We're going pretty well, actually. So we may actually end up assisting him with that, since it doesn't seem to cost us any supplies. Let's do that. Trinkets. Just trinkets, confirms the man, holding out the box. Shaking it, you hear a rattling and see a sudden look of horror on the man's face. He says nothing, though, merely backs away as quickly as good manners permit. We've definitely been handed a box of spiders. Lovely. Okay. Well, apparently, if we had Foxfire candles, we could sneak around and look through here at the sorrow spiders, apparently. The scuttering reaches, intricate webs stretch into a darkness where the shadows are never entirely still. Gossamer threads stolen by the breeze tickle the goosebumps on your skin. 1,000 unseen eyes promise a million more. Yeah, no way, no how are we exploring here. Not a bloody chance. Oh my god, no. No. This is a terrible place. I don't want to be here any longer. Shoot, do I need fuel? I might need fuel. Okay, I'll buy fuel. We've got plenty of echo to spare, even though this is quite overpriced. We'll buy up to 15 just to make sure we can get around safely. Oh my goodness. I hate this place. I hate this location. This is just the worst. Giant crab. Cool. Hello. Elder angler crab. Yep. We'll just be on our way. I couldn't actually see him because of some text box there. I couldn't see him even the slightest bit. Looks like there's another depths here. Arnston. Aren't Zen deep. Okay, we should be far enough that that crab can't see us anymore. Oh my god. I hate this location. I hate it so much. No Zbat places within range. We are almost up to the Empire of Hands, though. Where the heck is this hideaway place? Must really be hidden away. Because we are skimming. I thought it would be down there in that kind of bigger section that we hadn't explored. Because we didn't have like a whole chunk here. But it really doesn't seem like that's the case. Yeah, we're back up to about even with the Empire of Hands. So there's that Zeppelin that they're trying to rebuild. So we'll go and dock here at the Empire of Hands, see if we can help out with that Zeppelin creation anymore. We did have to wait for the Delightful Adventurous, I think, to go and help with the supplies for the Zeppelin for something there in her excavation. Let's go and sail to her island. I believe that is Fountainhead Island. Oh, and we've actually lost access to the island where I want to call her the monkey foundling was actually at, because we've now picked her up. There's nothing else of interest on that island, apparently. So let's travel to Fountainhead Island, where ancient tombs and buried treasure await. And the Delightful Adventures camp. So, let's talk to her, I suppose. A small army of monkeys brought with her soul, she excavates the vault of the first emperor. So, do you have anything of interest for us? Let's speak to her. Oh, right, and she has the unfinished clay man, too. Barnabas, apparently. She's already pretty used to dealing with... Well, considering at the speed at which she traded her stole, I guess she's already used to dealing with different folk. Let's speak to her first. She prepares to make her run on the vault. A flustered circus mistress. Oh, it's you, of course. Help me with these blasted maps, would you? The monkeys are quite clueless. She shakes her head. They claim our souls uplift them, but if you ask me, it's just a case of monkey see, monkey do. Can you believe they think the Zeppelin, that Zeppelin of theirs will let them create a new empire? Wait, take that out of your mouth this very second. Well, let's go check on the vault then. The vault of the first emperor, its secrets still await you. Monkeys sit idle, waiting for instructions. You stand once more before the imposing door. Vault of the first emperor. This tribute to the empire's first and greatest has been constructed over generations by Monkey, working with stolen ideas of what an ancient tomb should be. Outside the vault, the Delightful Adventuress consults her papers, while her clayman Barnabas and a small crew of variably hard-working monkeys try to force open the doors. Ah, you're here, she calls. Do pick up a crowbar, there's a dear. Bit of elbow grease should do it. Sure. Right, on the count of 3, muscles, human and primate alike, strain as the Delightful Adventuress harries everyone along. Finally, with a crack and screech of triumph and exhaustion, the doors slide open. Inside is just blackness. There, now chop chop everyone, declares the Delightful Adventuress, striding into the dark with a personal lantern. There we go. Behind her, the monkeys collapse to the ground, gasping, occasional stolen words and squeals of protest escaping into the air. Okay. Unfortunately, we still don't have any more foxfire candles. One crate will suffice for the entire exploration. So we do just need the one. So we will just leave the vault for now. Let's head on back. We'll go talk to the cannibals there. We'll talk to the treasure hunter, I think. Wounds no more than 2. That I am kind of concerned about. But I'll talk to him. He joined the pirates to see the Z. Now he just hopes to one day return to something he recognizes. Came well supplied for this journey unless your idea of preparations happen to include a compass, a map not written in riddles, a sextant, and a spare set of spectacles to compensate for severe myopia. Ah, I see. We could trade supplies for Foxfire candles. I might actually do that. I do want to adventure the tomb at least once, see what they have there, because that will give us the ability to sort of move supplies to the Zeppelin without having to donate our own. If we wanted to donate our own, we have to donate 100 of fuel, supply, and something else I forget. And there are apparently routes that you can take to avoid that. So I think I will trade one supply. We are doing pretty well on the supply front right now. We're doing pretty decently, so I think we'll be okay. Let's trade supplies for Foxfire candles. Don't tell the other, but I still can't bring myself to eat like they do. I pretend, but it's a good thing there's berries. Wouldn't say no to something a bit more. The trade is complete. He breathes with relief. Thank you. His nibs can talk your ears off about leaving things on your plate, not least other people's ears. Evidently, we could have traded recent news for dynamite and a live specimen for a flare. But I guess... that's only if you have absolutely none. We could trade Tales of Terror for... and a cask of mushroom wine for Z stories. Well, we'll go back to... Well, do we want to talk? Shall we raid them? No. We have a chance of getting wounded, so I think we shall not help the cannibals raid the Monkey Land, especially since we're helping out the Monkey Land. Let's go back to Fountainhead Island. And go to the vault here with our candle. Enter the vault. Through the depths, through the doors into the depths. She will not relinquish her glim lantern. You will need Foxfire candles to light your way. One crate will more than suffice. The antechamber. At the bottom of the stairs is a room with a sealed stone door. In front of that stands a pointedly placed plinth holding 3 thin pillars and some stone discs. The delightful adventuress rolls her eyes. A trial of the mind, it appears. How very adorable. It appears that our monkey friend's ancestors has absorbed more than a few souls with a passion for things of the pulp. Of the pulp? What does that mean, huh? Oh well, that should make things interesting. She slaps your shoulders. Do the honors, Capitano. Well, we apparently know enough to go and solve that, so... This tribute to the first and greatest... Empire's first and greatest have been constructed over generations of monkeys, working with stolen ideas with what an ancient tomb should be. Okay, so that's just the description. Solve the puzzles. 3 pulls, stone discs. Oh, please. The Towers of Hanoi puzzle. That little children's games that has been amusing London in recent years. This antechamber must be a more recent addition to the vault than it looks, even if the monkeys have bought into its legend. You roll up your sleeve. This will be easy enough. 15 stone discs. Ah, a minor problem suddenly reveals itself. Well, I see that you have this under control, declares the delightful adventuress, heading back upstairs. I leave it in your evidently very capable hands. Minor problem suddenly reveals itself? Sorry, what is the problem? Oh, I guess the minor problem was a actual description of the problem. It's just a little problem that we can very easily solve. So let's continue solving the puzzle. They cannot be serious about this, surely. One at a time, one move. If you keep this up, you should be done just in time to see the 6th city. Not sure what that one means. Oh my god! You've lost 1 Empires of Hands. Tower of Hanoi moves remaining. New total 32,766 moves. No, we're not going to sit here forever. Let's leave the vault for now. There has to be a better way from this. So I see the problem. Leave the puzzle behind. Someone elsewhere in the Empire of Hands may be able to help with this. I wonder where we should go. The court? I don't think they would probably do that. Let's travel back to the cannibal village and talk to the lost treasure hunter about it, perhaps. No. Evidently not. Well, I guess we are going to the Wild Weald Court. Your invitation stands unless you violate their sacred laws, unless, of course, they find it funny. So we will enter that. Where should we go? So evidently, we have the option to go to the Imperial Alchemist, the exquisite seneschal, who coordinates the Exodus, or presumably give up our soul. Let's talk to the Imperial Alchemist here. We can only do it once anyway, so Rethan, this your wandering bring you to the cramped laboratory of the Imperial Alchemist, wreathed in the smells of honey, wax, and lacquer. The alchemy of souls. The alchemist arranges a set of souls on a shelf. In fallen London, it is believed that Pentecost apes thirst for any. For the savage unsouled, that is true. Once uplifted, however, their attention soon turn to finding the right souls, both individually and as a mix. There's no greater honor in the emperor, for an emperor, than to be entombed with their souls unreclaimed. It is a declaration that none other could hope to do as much with them. Of course, what they see as uplifting could be simply copying, nothing more. To suggest that here, however, is considered the highest heresy, for it implies the emperor fit to rule on merely his own merits. Unthinkable. Okay, and now we can trade. Trading? No, it is not trading. However, should you have gifts of a certain nature, the keeping of appearances, a small group of powder-faced apes in the red-trimmed robes of court mandarins invite you into a quiet, cushioned room. Drinks and honey cakes are served, and business is carefully not discussed. After a while, however, the charades give way to polite expectation. So we can give prisoners honey, which we shan't. Red honey, cinders, radiant cinder. Not sure what that is. Oh, if we had red honey, we could get a pot of violent ink. Interesting. Well, I suppose we can't check now, but I'm pretty sure violent is still one of the colors that we do need to bring. We can evidently just give them the souls. Or casks of mushroom wine. Sadly, without wishing to trade the gift of prisoner's honey, we're just going to make our apologies here. You do not have anything worthy of such company, or at least that's the lie that it feels safest to tell them. The mandarins bow stiffly and pointedly. They do not feel the need to say their pleasure. Yeah, so we kind of disappointed them, but at least we know what we can trade there, sort of. We should bring in some red honey at some point, which we can get from our cat friend. What's the location there? I can't quite recall. The Isle of Cats. That's the one. Over in the middle of the Sunless Sea. Perhaps. I know we have been trafficking it, but I don't know if we can actually purchase it there. Let's go talk to the exquisite seneschal, I suppose. The silence is a pleasant slap to the face, sweetly scented with incense. Inside, the exquisite seneschal moves between clusters of mandarins in their yellow and red robes, using her experience to not so much give orders as offer advice on what the emperor would wish. So, if everything was ready, we could tell that to them. Evidently, we could have gathered supplies in a somewhat sketchy way. But evidently we need to have a wild weald status of 35, which we only have of 15, and we need to have a particularly potent poison. Not exactly sure what that means. And we could also get a fuel, apparently, by getting an infernal trade agreement, presumably with the Iron Republic. Yes, for a trusted agent to establish a relationship with the Iron Republic. Again, we need a better wild weald status, so we'll have to figure that out. Let's return to the court. The exquisite seneschal has work to be getting on with. You return to the chaos outside. You could live here all your life and never get used to the noise and smell. The prospect is not a tempting one. Let's go and leave the court. I don't want to talk to the Chandler of Souls. Looks like for the fuel, you can't have that agreement no more than 0. Ah, I see. So we have to get more trusted, and then we can make an agreement with the Iron Republic to furnish some fuel for them. But at the moment, we don't have anything to trade. I don't want to see the Chandler of Souls, and we visited the other 2 locations, so nothing of interest is there for them. Let's go leave the court. The rest of the Empire hands awaits, as does a much-needed breath of fresh air. Back to Port Stanton. If only the monkeys had engines, they would likely have built proper docks. So that's all we have to do. We have nothing awaits us. Wait. No, we don't have something awaits us, so we can't actually do that. No shops to speak of. We're all done here. Let's go set off to the Uttershroom and trade in our very much dead strange catch for a very much alive something else, but it is a live specimen of whatever that something else is. Oh, we've discovered the Ash Isthmus, apparently. That was a location, actually, when we were going around the Isles, so... or the Empire. Did kind of just row over there. But we'll go and take this northern side, and then we'll head down to the Uttershroom to clear out some of this blackened area on the map. Hopefully, we won't encounter anything unfortunate. I would very much like to repair our ship, but I can't think of a single location that would do that for us. Outside of Fallen London. Not at least off the top of my head. Perhaps we've had an encounter where they might, but... certainly not over here. Something awaits us back. Ah, the stars are changing. So, it's a matter of luck. Let's go see if we get a positive or negative one. Fortunate. One zailor claims it resembles the sun, another a Hindu mandala cross. The third suggests the rose window of the Chartres Cathedral. This excites mockery, nevertheless the reaction is positive. There we go. Lost a little bit of terror. So that's pleasant enough. Any hideaway near here? Maybe? Nope, nothing. We have made our way over to the Uttershroom, where we can trade our strange catch for a live one. We'll want to make sure we don't run into the mushroom base specifically. That would probably lead to poor things for our poor ship hull. But now, at the Uttershroom. So we can go gather a port report. Oh, and we got a docile Blemigan too. Whoa. A slow survey. The villagers live a shabby but sufficient life. The Uttershroom provides... the Uttershroom provides. They are secretive, taciturn, and curious ships rarely visit. But this is new. A gaggle of Blemigans, purple tentacled fungus things, follows you down the rope to your ship, whistling cheerfully. Blemigans are vicious little monsters usually, but the ones on the Uttershroom seem friendly. If they trouble you, you could probably throw them overboard. Perfect. I'll absolutely do that. So we won't... Ah. So I was actually unaware that that was a thing. I thought we required the Firkins of Prisoner's Honey for the live specimen. Apparently, we can just trade that outright. And we can get more Blemigans to go and deliver instead. Whoops, don't want to read that. Well, we'll go do that. I forgot to confirm whether that takes our something awaits us, but it looks like it does, considering it's not present. And I guess we'll go trade our Firkins of Prisoner's Honey. We'll trade one for another Blemigan. So we'll have 3 Blemigans aboard. We can start dropping them off in other locations. Ah, you return again. You want more Blemigan? We have more Blemigan. Many, many Blemigan. Always more Blemigan. Say Blemigan again, why don't you? We'll go grab one more, though. Always more Blemigan. Here are the piled slabs of mauve fungus flesh. Atop them, like an attentive dog on a plinth, a watchful Blemigan. They want new places, the Shroomer explains. Too many Blemigan here. Plant them in 6 more new places. Mother will be pleased. Okay. Oh, we actually gained some supply for that as well, so that's not a bad trade. Not at all. I'm actually going to note that down, that we need to do 6 more Blemigan locations. And we have 3 on board now, so essentially we'll just need probably 1 more visit. Let's go list that down. I'll call it... I think the quest is actually Blemigan Proliferation, I think. And we need 6 more places to do something. Presumably this won't be the situation from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where I'm actually planting an invasive species or something. Though I guess they are sort of invasive. These ones seem nice. They seem pretty nice. We'll at least be okay. We'll keep that 1 firkin of Prisoner's Honey if we need it for any reason. Does our Blemigan want to do anything? Nope. Yeah, he does not want to go on the other shroom, unfortunately. Poor Blemigan. Poor little guy. But yes, now to Polythreme. We'll stop off at Dahoot for fuel. And then Port Cecil. Or no. Hold up. Polythreme, Eisteval. Then Dahoot, Port Cecil, Nook, and the Conshadow and the Chalinet and all that. They're invasive, they should be potentially invasive for you. I mean, maybe, but I'm kind of worried that somehow Blemigans will conquer all the civilizations that we've built up, or rather, I guess destroyed. The only civilization we technically built up is Varkus, and we kind of destroyed a few of them. At the very least, we can head to Polythreme. I think we can make it over to Eisteval and then to Dahoot. Ooh, big crab, lights off. I think we can make it to both those locations without filling up Dahoot first, though I am kind of loath to try. It may be safer for us, much safer, to go fill up in Dahoot beforehand. Considering our terror is rather high, yeah, much safer indeed. Now, did we drop off a Blemigan here? I can't actually remember. Probably. It should give us the option if we have not. Polythreme here is screaming. So we'll go grab the port report, which gave us some terror. Oh, I see. The city cries out. Roads roil, bricks quiver, the windows of all the buildings flash like eyes. The palace above the city swells and roars. This convulsion is how claymen are born. Even now, somewhere below, they open their blind, seeming gray eyes. Okay, that gave us quite a bit of terror. Now we'll definitely have to go there first. It seems as though we have delivered a Blemigan to this location. Probably. Or we have the inability to deliver to this location. Nothing to buy or sell here. Nothing at all. And nothing to really do. I don't want to reduce our terror. It will not reduce it very much, and it costs quite a bit. We don't have the space to carry Claymen to London, nor do they give us much money for the task. Let's go around to Dahoot and then to Eisteval to go grab... Oh, no, we don't have a mirror catch box. I guess we'll go to Dahoot and then Conshadow. Should we spend some time in Dahoot? No, not at all. That would be a terrible mistake. Our terror is already very high, our crew members are very low, and our ship isn't doing that great either, in case that is something that could happen to it. So let's go and submerge here. We'll submerge a little ways out, because Dahoot should just be a little ways ahead of us as well. Yep, there it is. Among the many screaming faces of the ocean floor. Still not sure what those are all about. Very much not sure what those are about at all. Let's go dock. We will, I suppose, grab the port report. Or no, we could introduce a Blemigan. Might as well. Surely it would thrive in these fertile gardens. Oh, it's a challenge, though. Ah, I see. Gives us only a 30% chance of success. Perhaps we will not do that. And no interests to do here. Oh, conveniently we don't have a something awaits us, so we don't even have the option to spend some time here. Let's go and get some fuel. Supplies we could get as well. Those are actually a little cheaper than normal. but we'll just get the fuel for now. I think 7 supply should do us fine. Just get... Honestly, let's just get up to cap here. Always good to have excess fuel. And we'll go and resurface as soon as we get out of here. Don't want to spend any extra time on the Z floor with how little we know about it. Huh? Why is this out? What? Who saw us? We have no idea. Okay, we'll stop by at A Shaven. Oh, I see. There's a ship back there. The Unfinished Pirates. That is actually the Pirate Poet. We picked up off of one of those that we took down. Unfortunately, they have the drop on us. They are behind us, and we are facing away from us, away from them. And so we'll just sail around that and kind of dock and disappear. Godfall. Sometimes, just occasionally, bits of the roof fall off. Be glad you weren't here when this one did. So we could offer them a hunting trophy, and we've got a fair few, so we may as well do that. I forget where we got them. I do believe it was a repeatable thing. I suppose we'll grab the port report first. And let's put a Blemigan ashore, too. How will a Blemigan deal with all the wine, blood, and shouting? Flash of violet, it's gone. Up the dripstone flank of the stalactite into a tiny tunnel. Well, goodbye, Blemigan. I hope you enjoy the island of sort of pirate-esque priest monk things. So let's go give them a hunting trophy here. I don't think we've ever done that before. Of blood, offer them a hunting trophy as a gift for their collection. Louder, ever louder. The trophy inspires the monks to feasts of bragging. This one broke a giant albino More's neck. That one wrestled a heptachir. The third punched his way out of a bound shark. The fourth, and so on. You are largely forgotten. There are truths of note among all the tipsy boasting. So we gained a Tale of Terror, 5, a Memory of Distant Shores, not 5, we now have 5, and a Z story, along with some fragments. So that's not too bad. That is all right. No shops to speak of, nothing of interest to do except for trade more of that. So we'll go and set out from Godfall to Khan's Shadow. Let's go and do that. Oh, there's a Corsair up there. We could fight it, but considering our ship and its hull situation... Uh-oh. Has it noticed us? Okay, we'll burn some fuel here to get out of their range, hopefully. Ooh, ow. Okay, not quite out of the range. Actually burn a second dose of fuel just to make sure that we're properly out of range. I don't believe we can actually be have our engines explode anymore now that we have the We Are Clay. I believe that is not an option we have anymore. We will reach Khan's Shadow here and see what they have to offer us in terms of the Clattery Heart. So, we'll go compile a port report. We can put a Blemigan ashore here. The exiles are unlikely to be bothered by one more outcast. Sure, why not? A knack for concealment. The Blemigan disappears into the moist shadows of a nearby wreck. A shadow watches it go. Mushrooms, she says cheerfully. I've missed mushrooms. A shadow. A shadow proper. So I guess maybe that's a resident of the location, considering it is called Khan's Shadow. Interesting. Well, we've delivered 2. Let's look... Ooh. I guess let's go look for the Clattery Heart here. I hope it's there. I really hope it is. If she's here, the Clattery Air will recognize her. Sardo, the shipwrights are watching you. Everyone here seems unduly fascinated by your presence. You've only walked a quarter of the docks when the Clattery Air takes your elbow. The light is too dim. I can't be certain of the shapes of the hulls. She might be here without me seeing her. From the deck of the closest ship, someone spits something at your feet. It's... Actually, what is that? Chunk of tongue, the Clattery Air says, giving it a poke with the heel of her boot. Say they don't care to speak with us. Let's go. Okay. Well, we gained some terror. And apparently, future investigations will be easier. Oh, we can just go right back. That increased by 1. That is not that much easier. Terror 47. I'm going to go again until we get to 50. I know it's a probably bad option considering we're heading to Nook, but I really want this upgrade. Yep. That is not going up at all. Yeah, this is not getting any easier. So, well, I guess that's that. Could buy some fuel. Actually, no, we have no need of that, really. Same with the outlandish artifact. If we ever do get the Clattery Heart, it might be worth it to get the Mile Breaker here. It does reduce our hearts by 10, but we could spend secrets to get that back up to even at 50. And a fuel efficiency of 10% is actually really, really good. This equips to aft, which we don't have. Maybe the Clattery Heart might. Yeah, maybe that'll be something we pick up from this location, assuming we still have the money for it. But I don't think we will spend any time here. Can we actually, hold up, can we get a empty mirror catch box? Yes, we can. So we'll go and do that trade, I think. We'll go and get a run from Aeshaven to Nook to the Chalanet, and then maybe we'll come back to Khan's Shadow on the way between those locations. I was really banking on being able to upgrade our ship there. Our ship is very low in health. Our crew's not doing too hot either. Supplies and fuel we at least don't have to worry about. Those would be the biggest issues to run across. But I think we're doing all right. I think we're just about pointed in the right direction. Oh, goodness. Lornfluke. Those do a fair bit of damage, and they have a weird Eldritch E blast. So we want to avoid him if at all possible. So he's kind of taking our path down here. We don't want to pass by Aeshaven, though we are pretty distant from it, so maybe we'll be okay. Yeah, I think we'll be over. I think we'll be all right. We've made it to Aeshaven. So we'll go risk a wound here to collect the sunlight in the mirror catch box. That we can then trade in Nook. Oh, and we can put a Blemmigan ashore. Sure, why not? Put him on our island. They seem okay. Fallen fruit enriches the soil. Perhaps this will give the timid mushroom strength to resist the sun's rays. A nibble scuttle. It bounces swiftly across the sun-hot sand, using a minimum of tendrils on the scorching beach. Somewhat shriveled, it nuzzles into the shade of a fruit-rich tree. It seems unwilling to go further. Oh, I didn't think it would be that bad for it. Okay, well, we'll at least have a Blemmigan friend when we build, hopefully when we build our kingdom here. But we'll go and fill up our mirror catch box here. Which unfortunately we got a wound for. We now have a sunlight-filled mirror catch box. Mortal measures. You fill the box successfully, but the sunlight has lit a fire in your bones. You struggle back to the ship and wait while the fever subsides. Be wary, this is true sunlight, and it can be an unpredictable death to those who've spent too long here below. Shame. I think we will not do either of those things because it may be a poor... It may end in a poor result there. We'll go over to Port Cecil and Nook to go drop off this mirror catch box and trade it for some sapphires. Then make our way over to the Chalanet. And then we'll stop off at Khan's Shadow between that. And maybe on the way back, we'll go to Khan's Heart, Nuncio. Yeah, no, we'll figure out a route back once we've completed our trade route. And we're actually conveniently right at where Port Cecil is, at least in terms of longitude? Latitude? I think longitude, I want to say. That's the north-south, yeah? So we just need to head quite a ways this way. Hopefully we won't encounter anything nasty. Ooh, like that. Luckily it looks like he turned away. Looks like we're passing by A Shaven. Yep, that's just to our north, which means the Hoot is just up there as well. Do we want to take on the ship? I think not. Even though we would probably succeed if they get off a shot, we are put in even more dire straits, especially since we could lose a crewman. I think we'll try to avoid combat as much as possible while we are at our current health. There is a moray somewhere over here. And we won't play chess because our terror is high enough as it stands. I should have turned our lights on a little earlier than I did, but I was worried that the ship would come back and get me. But we have at least, it looks like, made it to dock without anything nasty jumping at us. I will endeavor to spend as little time at Nook and underwater as physically possible, because if the constant companion delivers a hit to us, we are dead. We are flat, straight, up and down dead. We do not have the hull capacity to go and withstand a single hit from it. But we made it to Port Cecil. We can drop off the checkered character. He waits eagerly by the rail. He lifts his head to inhale. I can already smell the chess, he announces. Thank you, farewell, he says neither of those things. He drops a sweaty bundle of banknotes in your hand and hares off up the hill, fingers twitching to begin a game. Game players, eh? We made 100 echoes from it. I wouldn't even go to Nook. I like this captain too much. We gotta go to Nook. We have to drop off our sunlight-filled mirror catch box, and that's the best location we found so far, because that'll get us free, essentially low-cost sapphires that we can then trade for a massive profit over in the Chelonate. So we've really just got to go there. We won't play chess. We'll gather the intelligence. That should be fine. I don't think we need to explore the coral knoll either. I think that'll risk a crewman. And there's no items in the shops that interest us either. We'll just head up straight to Nook. A quiet voyage is what we're hoping for. Quiet, completely uneventful voyage where we see nothing of interest and nothing of terror either. Just about to Nook, so I'll sink as soon as we get out into these open waters here. Should have put us right outside the gates. No chittering. We're presently safe from constant companion. Okay, we're not going to return to Nook. We'll just sell that. We've got the space for it, so that's good. Stygian ivory. Do they buy Stygian ivory over in the Chelonate? I think they'd probably sell it, if anything. Yes, they would sell it, and at an equal price, so no reason to bring that over there. We will go and maybe buy a little fuel. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Buy up to full. And we'll go set off here. Straight out of Nook. straight onto the surface. Okay. We'll keep heading over to Volcan Shadow first, I suppose. We'll use our Something Awaits Us there, on the way back from the Chalanet, and then maybe on the way out if we don't manage to find it at all. We could stop by Nuncio for the port report, I suppose. Though I do recall there being a Corsair out here, somewhere. No, it must have been that rat that has unfortunately gotten stuck in that vortex just about every time we've seen him. We'll just make sure to stay out of his target range. And, hopefully he'll be okay. Or will be okay, rather. Alright, Nuncio, go grab the port report. I don't think we'll do anything... Well, we can go to the Postman's Tavern. We can go... Well, actually, hold up. We don't actually get benefits here. We don't get friendship. Or, sorry, we don't get terror reductions from this. We only get friendship with the postal workers by talking to them about shift work. So we've not much to do that. Could do some more shift work. Explore along the beach. Oh, a ticking parcel. That's a new one. We don't have a Ratus Faber here. Well, surely they wouldn't kill us just off the bat, right? Let's take it, I guess. Rescue a ticking parcel. It says refused by recipient. What could possibly go wrong? Tick, tick, tick. Inside layers and layers of wadded cotton is an elegant anniversary clock. Gilded ratwork gears under a glass dome, sapphire-faced, scintillic-embellished hands, designed to run for a year and a day before stopping, most likely a wedding gift. The winding key is not included. An oversight, or is this a wedding gift from someone who did not expect the marriage to last? Ooh, that would be such a gift. What a like two-faced gift that would be. My goodness. Here's a ticking clock on how long I expect this wedding to last. Jeez. This marriage. Jesus. That would be rough. Whatever the giver's intention hardly matters now. Even without its key, the clock's works and jewels will fetch a nice price. We now have 7 outlandish artifacts. You know what? Let's go work with our rat there. Let's go work at the dead letter office. We'll collect some material here to grab some dead post. And we'll go work for a bit. It's been a long time since we did some shift work at the dead letter's office. Let's go talk to the Ratus Faber over there. So let's go feed our undeliverable letters in. And our friendship with the postal rat. Nothing has changed. We've no reason to go back there and make a study of what goes on in the back room. We already know that there's the giant cavernous pit under the island, and that it is some eldritch being that calls undelivered post for some reason. I was hoping we'd be able to talk with the postal rat, but it seems that that's not going to be the case. So let's end our shift here, say goodbye to him, as well as to the island. Head over to Con Shadow again, and eventually the Chalanet. Oh, is he going to escape the vortex this time? Nope. Nope. Looks like he is well and proper stuck in there. I've got no clue what happens if you sail into a vortex. I assume you would take damage. I assume that that's what happens, but having never done it myself and not really wanting to risk it, I wouldn't know for sure. Maybe since we have a submarine, there would actually be something interesting at the bottom, but I kind of doubt it. We'll use these brief periods of light to go save ourselves some fuel. And we'll skip over Khan's Heart for now. I'm going to try to get to Khan's Shadow as many times as possible, and so that'll be on the way to the Chelonate, on the way back from the Chelonate, and on the way out of the Khanate. Keep forgetting to turn on my light after turning it off in places like that. Oh well. But we are at least docked. We've got our something awaits us. We can get ourselves some curios, but I don't think that would be a good option. And we rescued. Okay. Seek the Clattery Heart among the abandoned hulls. If she's there, the Clattery Heir will recognize her. A memory of a memory. The Clattery Heir walks the docks, watching the hulls and the outlines of the ship. She moves slowly so that she doesn't look too eager. You probably won't find her here, the heir says. I don't expect to. I don't believe in clinging to specific hopes and expectations of that kind. It's just the sort of obsession that ruins lives, just the kind of thing I'm always having to repair. You don't find the ship, though you walk the docks 3 times over. It doesn't matter, says the Clattery Heir. I don't mind. Surely there's more you can do. Oh, okay. So we've actually succeeded there. We didn't find it, though. But we can now ask the shipwrights here. So ask about the Clattery Heart among the shipwrights. If the stories are true, they must at least remember her. On to Frostfound. She made other ships restless, says the Kaganian shipwright. In the end, we had to repair her enough to let her go on. She turned north with the last of the crew that still lived on her, but she sailed too close by Frostfound, and the ice swallowed her. At least that's the story that has come back to us. Oh, boy. Okay, so now we need to go to Frostfound. Wow. That is unexpected. We now got to go to, for the Clattery Heart, to Frostfound. Well, we'll see if we can find it there. I kind of doubt it. I hope we don't have to go into the castle. That would suck. Because I think Frostfound is the last one. Okay, so maybe we'll have to go into the castle to go get it. Maybe we'll just get it off the docks somewhere. That'll be something that we can do there. For now, not going to buy anything. Maybe another empty mirror catch box. It's always kind of nice to have one. Yeah, what the heck. If we want to end up making another trip down to Aeshaven, then to Nook, the Chelonate. Well, probably not, but we'll pick one up just in case we can get one for something. Maybe get supplies before getting the ship. You're low and it has a much higher crew capacity. That would be a good option. I don't want to get it here. I'd go get it in Dahoot, if anywhere. Yeah, I think in Dahoot. That'll be fine. So I think right now the path we will take is the Chelonate to the Gant Pole. That'll give us the strange catches. We'll then take those to the Uttershroom again, and we'll pass by Dahoot on the way down or up. Go to Frostfound, then to Khan's Heart for the romantic literature. Hopefully by that time, when we arrive in Frostfound, we'll be able to get the ship. Hopefully. That's my current plans here. And double hopefully, we hope we won't encounter the Chittering Companion here. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Where is everyone? Where did they go? They're here. They're here. You're not alone. What? What is this? What is that? What happened? Oh, okay. I guess we had a nightmare? That was a strange bit of flavor text I haven't seen before. Okay, that was truly and properly creepy. I didn't expect to just kind of see it there. I thought it would be a bigger situation, but... Alright. Well, we've reached the Chelonate. The Eater of Names, I think, is here. Just on the far side of Shabbleport, if we go to the southeast a little bit, I'd assume. But... should be good to just dock here and sell our wares. Don't need to get an outlandish artifact here. We'll just sell our caskets of sapphires. or about 500 echoes in profit. Pretty good. Not too shabby. Also, be careful going underwater. I think the higher your terror, the more likely the constant companion will show up. Yeah, that's why I want to get this done. That's why I'm not going back to Nook once we go to Dahoot and stuff. I think that'll be the only thing we do here. We don't need Stygian Ivory. Don't want to purchase that for anything. We'll go grab the port report, I suppose. And we could show off the hunting trophy. Presumably, that would get us an outlandish artifact, but I don't particularly need one. We are at 7 now, and I can't think of any reasons we would need more than 7. So we'll go quickly set off to the Gant pole. Should just be over here. Oh, lovely. And we have another strange catch. Cool. We'll go, oops, go and submerge. I said submerge. We'll probably have to wait for our Z-Bat. Yeah. There we go. No skittering, no skittering, no skittering. Whew, okay, we're good. Oh, they're skittering. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not good. That's super not good. Oh, man. We can cut some flesh for the Chelinet. Ooh, man. That is excessively not good. Carboy of Primordial Streaks we can evidently get with this firkin of Prisoner's Honey. And I do recall one location, the Chelinet wants that Carboy. I'll go and sell it. We will get our strange catches, and we'll fill up the rest with fuel. And supplies, actually. Get up to 8 supplies and fill up the rest with fuel. And we'll set off and surface as soon as physically possible. Light off, light off, light off. Oh my god. Okay. No more underwater vacations for us. We are not even kind of going to go back underwater. We'll go sell off our carboy here. We're 37 echoes. That's a little cheaper than I was hoping for. Let me check out the undersea economy. Let's go open that up. I assume that it is probably only this type of location that'll want that carboy of Primordial Shrieks. I'm not exactly sure if I've seen it anywhere else. Yeah, I'm not seeing it be too omnipresent here. If this is the only location we can sell it, it wouldn't be the worst. I think the firkin was not all that expensive over where we got it in Fallen London. I would have liked for it to be a little bit more useful, though, considering how rare it is. Yeah, I'm really not seeing it pop up anywhere else on the economy pages here. Yeah, pretty much nothing. Well, that's a bit of a shame. We'll at least make 37 echo off of it. Not too terrible. And we will go and head on out. Well, we've got fuel. And we got a decent amount of supplies. Since we're not heading to Dahoot anymore. No, we still have to head to the Uttershroom to change out our strange catches that we've got. Or, sorry, not... Yes, our strange catches. What is it we have in our hold right now? Strange catches, that's the one. So we've got to exchange those, another one of those, for live specimens. We may as well exchange all of them, since it doesn't cost us firkins of prisoner's honey. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll exchange 2, let's say. And that'll give us the ability to help out our sigil-ridden navigator up at the Chapel of Lights, as well as help out, keep one for anything else that we happen to need it for. Maybe even 3. Yeah, 3 will leave us with a 50-50 split. We'll have 4 live specimens and 4 strange catches. So we'll just go sail, hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on paper, which is sort of wood. We'll have a boring adventure down to the Uttershroom, where we won't encounter anything nasty or terrifying in any way. Go hug this coast so we can stay out of the way of that guy and hopefully reduce our terror at the same time, right? Yeah, there we go. Just a wee bit. And we'll start heading across because we do have to go a little bit west to get to the Uttershroom dock. How are we doing on terror? 76. It's a little higher I was hoping for. Maybe we should have taken on that ship. How'd you get out without the constant companion getting you? We surfaced immediately. We did not spend any time next to the Gant pole. We turned our lights right off, and we surfaced as soon as physically possible, and we are not visiting Dahoot for fuel. We will spend out the butt to get our fuel from Khan's Shadow, which is, I think, the next best place on the surface. We'll go get our strange catches turned up. Oh, we only get 1. Okay, that's still fine. We can trade the 2 that we have. Right, because it doesn't require the prisoner's honey, but it still does require our something awaits us. So that's okay. That's still not the worst trade, and we'll have more to do things with in future if we ever need more live specimens. Still really do feel like the wreck of the Miko is, something I'm supposed to be able to dock at. Maybe it's something underwater? No? Unsure. Very much unsure. But now, to head to Khan's Shadow, Frost Fountain, then we'll come back down to Khan's Glory and Khan's Heart before we head across. Cross and up to the Chapel of Lights, because I want to get our big ship, hopefully, then drop down to Khan's Shadow for fuel and supplies, and Khan's Heart for romantic literature. Uh-oh. 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 I've got to get out of range of them. I might have to take these guys on. I think I do. Oh, ow. I lied. I super duper lied. We are mostly dead. I can't believe they did 12 damage in one hit. That's absurd. Really? Okay, we're now... Oh, we're not at below capacity yet. We have one sailor above capacity. Shoot. We can pick up some folk in Khan's Glory for an exorbitant price. We can pick up some zailors there. So I guess we'll stop off of there before we do anything else. Right? No, we just go to Frostfound because they said that they... somebody in chat said that we refill our ship crew when we find the Clattery Heart. Yeah. You know, that is a good plan-ish. Goodish plan. I just want to make sure that I can fill up on fuel and maybe supplies as well while we're at Khan's Heart so I don't run out of those once we pick up that big old ship. Confused it put you on low power with 3 out of 7 the last stream. Did it really? Okay, I have no idea what's up then. Apparently last stream 3 out of 7 was low power. This stream not so much. For now, I suppose we'll just buy. We'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. Uh-oh, it's turned off. Okay, so I think the logic needed some time to catch up somehow. I think that was a bug. Go buy that much fuel and the rest in supply. And since we are now slowed, I will actually pick up that sailor at Khan's Heart. As we slowly, ever so slowly, make our way over there. Oh boy. Might have done some weird stuff because you were burning fuel. That could have been it. We did burn fuel at pretty much the exact moment we lost that crew. Or at least shortly thereafter. So I could have messed with the logic of the game a little bit. Go and get ourselves close so we can save fuel, turn off the lights, and not gain 2 red pips at a time. It's going to be on the left side of this. Okay, we have docked. Now, it'll cost us 30 echo here, but we can hire some crew. Kaganians are wary of your people, but perhaps you can find someone. A hungry sort, the Zailor is thin enough to slide through a porthole and desperate enough to sign on even with a sun-bitten Empress Gobbler. She doesn't use those terms when she thinks you're nearby. Okay, 4, totally enough. That's absolutely good for us. We're totally good to get everything set up. Let's go check with our spy network here. We could use our vital intelligence or our veils. I think we'll just use up our vital intelligence. And we'll go and hopefully capture the rat and improve our network in here. Use a mouse to catch a rat. Outratted. The Khanate has its share of canny operators. They take up what you offer and leave you as lorn as a fluke. Uh-oh. Did we lose? I don't think we lost any. I think we actually still might have gained some influence. we unfortunately don't have a captivating treasure to expand, so let's seek another opportunity for later. And perhaps, well, it'll be now. No, it'll still be later. And perhaps we'll be able to fulfill that. Getting a captivating treasure is a rather difficult proposition. Do we want to check on in the shops? Could grab some foxfire candles. Oh, in fact, I might grab a single one at least, because if we need to investigate Frostfound, we'll need a foxfire candle to do that. We'll need 5 technically, but it's good to have at least the one. Okay, but now, yeah, we can sail back at full speed, which is good, which is great. So we'll set on out to Frostfound with our very low ship hull. And our very high terror and whatnot. Do we stop off at Khan's Glory? I think we do not. I think there's nothing for us to be gained there. We'll just set off straight across to Frostfound, which should be, yeah, just the slightest bit across the waves. And we might even lose some terror if we... some terror and gain some free supply and fuel. If we are allowed to both ask about the ship and talk, get some tea with the folks here. Okay, so we'll grab the port report, I suppose. And it looks like we have the Clattery Heart. Extract the Clattery Heart. The Clattery Air leans over the deck rail, there in the ice. The searchlight catches what might be a hull or might be a very large gizzard. Interesting. Preparing an approach. The Clattery Air presents herself on deck. She carries a bag full of sharp blades and serrated blade. Sharp blades and serrated blades. Short, strong blades. Toothed blades like saws. Long-handled shears. Knives whose edges are invisible. She is ready to cut glass. Is ready to cut with glass or with diamond or with fire as required. Wow. Cool. Clattery Heart in the ice. The Clattery Air has sliced away great blocks of frost-found ice and piled them into a wall. Behind them, the shape of the Clattery Heart is evident, but the hull flesh is blue with cold. Bring it back to health. It is shocked, she says, and numb. It will need a cure. Well, we've got a 100% chance of that, sure. Implements of warmth. The Clattery Air builds a fire. She whistles an infuriating popular tune. Cool, they have pop music. She massages the hull flesh with brandy and piles otter pelt over its raw, frost-bitten flanks. She speaks to it in the native tongue of the first city, a language cluttered with velar stops. In the 5th hour of these rituals, the heart begins to thrum again. It wants to be free of the ice. It wants to move. It wants to swim. South, says the air. Wait for us in Port Carnelian. It isn't safe to change ships here. You're kidding. No. No way. The heart beats twice before taking a new heading. For now, Clattery Heart waits in Port Carnelian. If you wish to make it your ship, you will have to go there and come to some agreement with the air. Okay. Well, we freed the Clattery Heart from Frostfound's ice. We now need to go with Clattery Heart to Port Carnelian, which is all the way across the bloody map. Oh, man. Luckily, Port Carnelian is by Fallen London. So maybe we'll head across to Fallen London where we can get our ship repaired up. At least a little bit. And it'll be a little safer in that direction. We can reduce our terror and stuff as well. Oh my god, terror is 86? Yeah, we need to reduce our terror something fierce. Let's go take some tea with the squatters. That'll be lovely. Yeah, 10 terror, gone. Perfect. 1 supply, 1 fuel. Both perfect. Both fantastic. We are set. Yeah, nothing new here in terms of the flavor text. And no shop, of course, to speak of. We will head up to, I guess, the Chapel of Lights, Mount Palmerston. We can finally talk to the wistful Deviless. We can give her the good news that she can come back. Maybe even stop off at the Avid Horizon, perhaps. Yeah, I think we should. So we'll sail across this way through the empty space, up to the Chapel Lights and the Avid Horizon, then Mount Palmerston. We'll cut across. No, we actually have to go to Codex because we can get an unread log there with our lamentable relic, if I'm not mistaken. We should have one. Anatomical cabinet. I swear we had a lamentable relic. Yes, there it is. We have unread logs there. We can get 3 for that one that lamentable relic, which we can finally use for the last object for the Sea of Lilies. That is the not the Sea of Lilies, Rosegate. That's the one for the tobacconist there. That's the only thing he needs to make his underwater cigarette. And I think that there was another use for it. Maybe in Adam's Way, I think we could use it to get in. But there may be another use yet on the sea. And it'll be nice to have those 2 extra. So let's go and set across to this blank space to the Chapel of Lights up here. Oh, there's a vortex. Has this always been here? It's undiscovered, so... Yeah, Dathuli's Rage, apparently. I can't believe we've never come across this before. It's right outside of both Khan's Glory and Frostfound. I thought it would for sure be set. We are kind of skimming the edge of it, but I think we should be okay. Oh, and another vortex. A lot of vortexes. The Kizigar vortex. Oh, you know what's around here? Ah, I see it. Oh my god, it's Mount Palmerston. I just caught a glimpse of him to our southeast there. You can see him moving around. Oh my goodness. That was almost a terrible mistake that we just made there. That would have been like the worst possible thing to happen. To encounter Mount Nomad. He had a ton of health, I believe, the last time we came across him. We just like quickly checked him out, and he is huge and has a ton of health and will absolutely destroy our tiny ship with almost no health in it left. Whew, okay. Let's talk at the Chapel of Lights. We could eat here. That would reduce our hunger. Oh, we have a ton of hunger. We'll grab the port report first. Could attend a service, though we will not use that because it'll use up all of our supply. We will eat of the chapel's bounty. A smiling priest unlocks the door of the storehouse for you. Here he says, eat, but take nothing away with you. Rich and red, they have shark steaks plucked from the sea, thin slices of cavern tuna, translucent and delicate as paper, little crimson cakes flavored with cinnamon and coated with poppy seed, deviled pork kidneys on crusty bread. Gorge yourself. Leave with the juices dripping from your chin. 48 hunger, all lost. We've now got the menace of unaccountably peckish? Are you kidding? Wait, he secretly fed us human meat? You're kidding. Aw, man. I mean, this opens options for us, but I don't think there are any good options. Well, at least it reduced our hunger, so our supplies are pretty much set. We have a wound already. No, do we? How many wounds do we have? How do we see that? I swear we had at least 1 wound. Maybe that's down at the bottom here. Huh. Not quite sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I picked up 1 from Iceball. So maybe that's there. No, that's probably a menace, right? Yeah, a wound. So I don't want to clear our nightmare strength. It is 3, but we do have restful nights, I'm pretty sure. right? I swear we had Restful Night somewhere. Maybe that's not in this tab. There's so much in this tab. We have no clue. I think we have a Restful Night, so if we do get a Nightmare's Menace, we'll just sleep it away. So we won't give the nightmares to the well, because that'll give our wounds. Let's go help out our sigil-ridden navigator here. This is the place. Hark the bell. We will pay the price, not with our crew. We've got our live specimens for you. Our stores are running low. If we cannot feed our congregation, our mission must end. Can you provide? The fresher, the better. Your navigator has nothing. He pleads for your help. Oh, and the chapel, since it's been a long time since we've been here. A consultation in the chapel. You enter to see your navigator shaking a smiling priest by the collar. It led me here. Tell me what it means. Look at it. Look at it. The priest disentangles himself as politely as possible. I'm sure we can find a path to put you on, my friend. He examines the sigil with the professional air of a collector, but we will need your help in return. So we'll go and give him the live specimens to help out our navigator here. A new destination. The priest gives your offering a satisfied nod. He whispers a few words over them. A blessing. See them writhe. Your navigator twitches impatiently. The sigil, what does it mean? Who carved it on me? What did I do to deserve it? The smiling priest raises a hand. You are on a journey, my friend. You must take one step at a time. I've seen your sigil before, carved in the ice. Frost found. Oh, come on. We just came from there. Go there. You will answer your first question. That will lead you to your next. To the next. The navigator's thanks are muted. He plods back to your ship. Before you leave, the smiling priest gives you a wink. Okay. Well, I guess we can finally cross out that quest from way back. A quest for... see if we can even find it here. My goodness, did I even write it down? It is a long, long time ago. Ah, there it is. Sigil-ridden navigator. Chapel of Lights in the northern map. We found it. We gave them 2 live specimens. We now have to go to Frostfound for the Sigil-ridden navigator. Wants us to go to... there. Perfect. Okay. And with that, we are done here. We could go back to Frostfound. Or we could leave that for not now. Let's head up to the Avid Horizon instead. Go to Fallen London. I'm going to Fallen London. We're just heading up here because it's not very far out, and we can make it there without too much issue. Your hull is so low. I know. We're not taking any more fights. We are burning fuel if we get in the possibility of a fight. The only place that I am certain of which we could possibly have that happen is probably the Tyrant Moth over by the Ragged Crow, but we'll be sailing a wide berth around that one too. Anything interesting? Oh. Interesting. Because we have a terror of 76 or above, we can actually look into the stars here. We can gather some intelligence. Or get a hunter's eye. We'll gather the intelligence first. A hunting quest and a final revenge. Sure. You heard a story. The ice by the gate's edge. There was a whisper about a hunting quest and a final revenge. Behind the ice. Yes, this is what the rumors meant. A hunter frozen in the ice, hands contorted to claws, mouth agape. With her left hand, she had plucked her own eye from the socket. It lies very close to the surface of the ice. If the stories are true, there's a dark virtue in that eye. Take it then, but perhaps you should put it in a jar. So we've got another hunter's eye. We know that that's a color. We already turned it in for that, but now we also have it. And I guess we'll go look into the stars. So we have a lot of terror. Maybe this will reduce it here. Stars float in the mirrored night of the waves. Watch them a while. Nope, not good. Oh god, you cannot. You cannot. Look away. You've gained terror. Now we're haunted. Okay, only 1 terror. So at least that was okay. And obviously there's no shop or anything here. Has a sigil-ridden navigator, look at, you know, the sigils here. They look kind of similar to what he's got going up on his head there. They look very similar indeed. So now we'll make our way across to Mount Palmerston, where we can talk finally with the lovely Wistful Deviless. And we'll curve around the north edge of the map here so we can start clearing out some of the blank spaces on the map. We can fit through that hole, right? Okay, we'll slow the ship down before we do that. Once we get here, we'll take it nice and slow. There we go. Nice and slow. Perfect fit. Not a single issue. I think as long as we stay up here, we should probably be good from things like weather and the fog and stuff down there. I tell a lie, though, apparently. And beasts that roam around here, because I don't think any of them fit among these icebergs. And it's generally... I feel like it would be pretty safe up here, surely. Palmerston's Reach. Okay, we've reached it. Once we pass through this section of iceberg, slowly. We'll pass through it very slowly. Slowly, slowly, carefully. Oh my god, what? What sees us? A Faustic Corsair? Faustic Corsair. Okay, so that... Faust is a writer of devils, if for those not in the know. I guess we actually have to keep our lights off here because if that Corsair is up there, he can absolutely destroy us. I thought we'd be safe up there, man. Okay, luckily at least he's in the fog, so we should be good to dock here. Let's go up the crater and talk with the Deviless. Okay, so... Independent verification. The Brass Embassy has asked you for independent verification of the Deviless's intelligence. It's possible that you might be able to eavesdrop on the convention somehow. We've only got a 25-ish% chance, 1 in 4. If you're right by the coast, your terrace goes down without the light on. Yes, if there is like a beacon of some sort around it. Don't risk it now. I mean, I don't think it'll take anything from us, surely. I think it'll be okay. If you gain terror. Oh, that's right. Let's just take some tea here. And we'll give her both the news and the gift here. The news from the embassy and the gift. The Deviless keeps little snakes as pets now, each no bigger than her little finger. She scratches their heads and calls them by name, and once, when she thinks you aren't looking, she pops one in her mouth. Chew it like a licorice treat. Oops. What did they say, she asks. Well, delight. The Deviless opens the parcel. Amanita sherry. She pours you each a splashy glass, chattering giddily. She blushes when she sees you push the glass away. Force of habit. I don't really want to poison you. It's such good news, isn't it? Do you really think they trust me? I would so love to get back away from this ghastly little rock, back to where the souls glow and the dances never end. So listen, I have something more valuable for them. The names of 7 devils back home who remain loyal to the aristocracy, to Brimstone. Here, take the names, give them to the embassy. Ask them if I can come home. Sail swiftly, my brave captain. All my hopes rest with you. Okay, well, I guess that's that. Go grab a port report. We should really probably get this officer. We've collected basically all the other officers we know of. We do need bales of parabola linen. I think we can probably get that from Irem. We'll also get a little bit of fuel. Up to 15, I'd say, will probably be enough to get us home. Yeah. 15 fuel. Or 16, I guess. That'll be fine. That'll get us back home. We'll wrap way up north around the Ragged Crow, so we don't even have to kind of look at it. Though we will need to keep our lights off here, just because we don't want to be spotted by that Corsair on our way out. And we'll take the northern route along with these beacons in the water. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Roused at midnight. As the first watch ends, shouts forward rouse you. Your bosun's face is grim as you emerge from your cabin. We lost one, weighed himself down with pans and gave himself to the deeps. Took Cook's best kettle too. Morale is worsening, Captain. We will distribute extra rum. We want our terror to go down, and rum is always good. Zailors are rarely ungrateful for grog. So we lost 5 terror. Okay, that's pretty good. We lost a little bit of supply, and we lost a crew, which means we're going extra slow. No. Okay, liquid comfort. It hasn't helped with discipline, but the mood aboard is perceptibly better. So I guess it's good that we picked up that extra fuel, because we will be traveling remarkably slow on the way back here. We've been losing quite a bit of crew as of late. Quite a lot of it, actually. Ought to take some measures to avoid that. I mean, we've tried. We've done our best. They just happen to be getting eaten, really. Home, warmly lit windows, company, peace. Thoughts of home come at the strangest times. Well, I mean, we are on the way home. On the plus side, we can't possibly crash into the icebergs now because we are moving so slowly. So slowly that I'm actually worried about fuel supplies on the way back home. At the very least, we'll have something awaits us between every single island we visit. So we are just coming above the Ragged Crow right now. As long as we're sticking near these icebergs, we're actually not gaining any terror, or we're not gaining much terror. They count as land, so it slows our terror gain and reduces it if we actually have our light on. We've also been regularly working at barely above minimum capacity, so you have more crew. Normally you have more crew, so losing one isn't as bad. That could also be it. Songbird Misty, hello. How you doing? Doing well, that's good to hear. We are doing okay. Our hull is a bit low and our terror is a bit high. But I think we should be able to crawl our way back home. Hopefully, that's the dream. We're just slowly making our way there. I really hope I get to a rock before our terror goes up. Nope. Alright, just missed it there. We'll just turn it off for here. We're coming almost across to Codex. We're still getting those dreams, I guess. Where's everyone? Where did they go? They're here, they're here. You're not alone. We're still getting those sort of spooky dreams. I think I'm actually going to keep our light off until we reach halfway with the, with our terror like that. And then hopefully we'll pass by and resume reductions. We could probably start heading south here. There's Pucker Ridge's Lookout. Not sure what that's all about. Maybe there's a extra port up there that I haven't noticed. Haven't been to before. Now that we're close to fallen London, though, the beasts around here shouldn't be nearly as bad, except for those lifebergs, one of which we can see in our distant area here. But luckily, it shouldn't be too terribly bad otherwise. We'll go to Codex and finally trade in that lamentable relic. Oh, come on. Another one? You're kidding. You've got to be kidding me. All right, extra rum, because now we've got almost no one to crew the bloody ship. Another one. We're losing crew left and right. I can't do anything about this. There's nothing physically that I can do to stop that from happening. I could shoot one of them maybe and try to instill, I don't know, a desperate regard for life, but we'll grab the port report. We'll go grab our lamentable relic. Offer the shivering monkeys a lamentable relic. They will lay it before their mournful shrine. In exchange, they offer Z-stained logbooks from a battered chest. Religion and science. An irritable monkey snatches the relic and cradles it to the matted fur of its chest. Another, from a cautious distance, flings 3 logbooks at you, one after another. Each is filled with scientific field notes. This one of Z soundings, this one of angler crab behavior, this one cataloging fossilized sigils of Codex. So we've got the unread logs. I'm going to buy up to 15 fuel because I'm very concerned that we won't make it back at our current fuel capacity with the speeds that we're making right now. We are doing very poorly in those terms. We're just going to completely skip across Wither and go for Vendor Bite. If we encounter anything at sea, like a small crab or a supply of bats or whatever, we will go and shoot them to reduce our terror as firmly as possible, because we really need shipmates to stop jumping overboard. Okay, we'll stay to the light here to keep reducing our terror. I want to have those pips as low as they can go before we set out across the dark. Come on. Come on. Are you kidding? A lifeberg right there? And he's turning towards me. And my terror is going up at an absurd rate. Forget it, I'm burning fuel. That is as fast as we can go. Right? Are we burning fuel? This is burning fuel. This is the speed at which we go burning fuel. Terror is at 76 again. Okay, I think we're far enough out of the way. Oh, you son of a lifeberg, I hate you. I hate you. I hope you bash yourself against some freaking ice. Okay, he's off the screen. He's off the ruddy screen. Maybe a vendor bite? Or, yeah, vendor bite. We can pick up some crew or something. We can do something to reduce the absurd strain that my crew is putting me under. Z-bats. Okay. Lights off. So we can just sneak up on them. Well, no, we'll probably charge up in time to hit them. So at least get them to go towards us, right? They shouldn't do all that much damage if they do get us. That'll reduce our terror. Oh, that'll reduce our terror plenty. There's some behind us, but I don't want to turn around. So we'll go and grab them. We don't need fuel. We'll reduce the terror instead. Are we? Yeah, we're just above Vendor Bite right now. There's the port. Oh, lovely. We are absolutely going to ignore them to reduce the terror. You're not allowed to have bad dreams anymore, men. There are only 3 of us. And those clay men working themselves very peacefully. Why can't you all be like that? In the engine of the ship. Okay. I assume we have nothing else for the first curator. Yes, we do not. We'll go grab the port report here. And not explore vendor bite, because there is a possibility here that we have something unfortunate happen. We visit that Carmine Church and it increases our terror. We could have a special. Costs 60 echoes, but it may be worth. Oh, or we could give him a strange catch, which is a less... Oh, that'll actually give some of it back as supply. So maybe we'll go with this one. Unlucky. Lost a strange catch. Gained echo. Gained a supply. I think it's worth it, even though we didn't get the something awaits us, because we have way more strange catches taking up space than we really need at the moment. So, well, that is our trip to the tomb colony. We'll go sell. Well, we'll keep our single vision of the surface just in case we need it for anything, and nothing else here is worth it. It might increase terror if you lost. No, I think we just have a poor meal. I just think it's not a very good meal otherwise. But unfortunately, we can't grab ourselves a Zailor. Even if we did, we wouldn't be up to full speed. Full power only lasts for the rest of your current fuel barrel. Okay, so maybe I'll burn this next barrel here. Try to get ourselves to Fallen London a little more quickly. We'll see how that goes. So let's burn that. It's the slightest bit faster. Not a ton, but it does give us some speed. It's good to know. I didn't actually know that. I thought that it... Oh, no, are you kidding? We have clay men. We can't... Our engines physically can't explode. Oh, man. Heal the wounded, damp the flames. Lost 4 hull. Jeez. Bandaging the wounded. You've saved injured sailors, but the ship has suffered terribly. Okay, so we at least didn't lose any more crew. At one crew, I don't know actually if we could move the ship. It's the avid suppressor that stops fires. Oh, shoot. I was under the impression that we are clay stopped the fires. Okay, well, it's good to know that part at least. We will absolutely control ourselves. We are not going to give ourselves over to it. That will not do well for crew terror. We lose Salt's attention. That's okay. Stifle your sobs. What is this? Why this sorrow? The ebb tide. You dig your nails into the palms of your hands, pacing the ship. The sorrow retreats like mist to the borders of your thought. You master yourself, but the taste of salt remains. If things go very poorly, we may actually have made a mistake there. Salt is what saved our last captain, who ran out of the capacity to move at Z. Salt was the god that saved us then. So if we run into some very unfortunate events, I'm just going to keep burning fuel to get back to London as quickly as possible. That may be a very unwise decision that we might have just made there. Keep burning fuel here. Do you have attention now or not? No, I just lost his attention from that event, from suppressing our sobs there. I was afraid that it would raise terror in the crew, and I think it would have, but it may have been worthwhile to do it because Salt's attention can be useful if you get stuck, essentially. My goodness, but we are going to limp ever so slightly into shore. Come on, we are almost there. Nothing explode or do badly. Okay, whoo, we're back. We are back. Terror reduced to 50. We still got Nightmare Strength at 3. Messages from the Harbor Messenger. Something has changed. Something is always changing. Somebody wants to sign on. Somebody generally always wants to sign on. we still have no idea what the Alarming Scholar wants us to do for him. Or her. It. We really have no clue. We talked to them last time. They didn't seem like they had anything specific. First things first, go and heal the heck out of our ship. Ship and dry dock. We are not actually going to repair it up to full. So, well, maybe we will. It is pretty cheap. Actually, yeah, the cheapest option is to use our Admiralty's favor. So maybe we'll just do that instead. Trinkets, just trinkets. Ah, right. No, this is something we got from the folks over at Savior's Rocks. We collected trinkets for delivery to Fallen London, and now we have done that. So, trinkets, just trinkets. The man waiting is not a cultist. He is just another ordinary citizen wearing a silken blindfold. Okay. In a few years, perhaps everyone will be wearing them. Yeah, you could be right. Deliver the trinkets to the waiting man. Still a firmly sealed crate of what are absolutely not sorrow spider eggs. Maybe that's a relief, or maybe you just got lucky. Either way, they made it. So did you. There's somebody else's problem now. What was the address on the crate? The Shuttered Palace? On second thought, it hardly matters. Yep, do not care. Ship thus repaired. Sure, let's talk to the Alarming Scholar. Talk to them, it's good. Oh, here it is. Okay, I have no idea why I didn't see that last time. So, a little present from the Scholar. You've been so very helpful, I wanted to give you something for your next voyage. I bottled it myself. Ah, supplies. Dark glass. It smells pickled, chemical, salty. Once it might have been eel flesh, but the Scholar assures you that it has been vital and that it has vital and nutritional virtues. Save it for an emergency, perhaps. Okay, so that's convenient. We got some supplies. And I don't think... Oh. Right, we can give them a unread log if we wished. We'll give him one intriguing snippet. Net us some 50 echo. Not too bad. And let's go gather some zailors. So we'll take our new recruit, which will be cheap, and then we'll actually go and hire some more crew with our stories here, which should we should have a 100% chance of getting quite a few people. So, sensible sailors are looking for a safe run to the tomb colonies, or at least a sane run to the southern archipelago. You'll need to buy drinks, spread around hiring fees, look for daredevils. Rich pickings. Your tall tales find a ready audience. Scarred and seasoned men and women tramp aboard and find places to sling hammocks. 3 crew. We're now at 6. Totally fine. Very adequate. And I think we'll be good there. Oh, interesting. Decide whether to complete the avuncular broker's mission. The hands-on diplomat is anxious to take up her new post. Right. This is the conclusion of the Thief of Faces thing that we delivered to Adam's Way. So we did have to deliver this avuncular broker, or sorry, the hands-on diplomat to Fallen London. I guess we get to decide whether we actually set her up here so that they aren't using Thieves of Faces. I forget. Snufflers, I think, was the general term for those Thief of Faces folks. But let's at least see what we can do here. Hands-on diplomat is anxious to take up a new post. No doubt you're anxious to be paid. You are absolutely correct. So, the avuncular broker's task. The hands-on diplomat slides bullets into her pistol. Time to go, she says, slipping it into her satchel. She shares the name of the man she is to replace and shows you his picture. A dapper chap, dark-eyed, dark-skinned, smiling. Well, I really don't know enough of the politics of Adam's Way or the folks in Fallen London, really. I don't know who this dapper chap is. I don't want this poor fellow to be capped in the back of the head. But I also don't know exactly what Thieves of Faces are. The Snuffers are. and if they're actually bad at all, or if it's just one of those South religious like things that they don't like. Escort her safely to the embassy. Presbyterian embassy is hidden in London sewers. Journey is damp and odorous. Or warn her target. So the last time we had a difficult decision like this, we decided to side with the establishment. We sided with Varkus's priests and got the city shut down and our poor jeweled youth kicked out. This time I'm going to side with sort of the establishment, sort of not the establishment. I'm going to warn her target, basically, because he at least deserves a fighting chance. So let's see how exactly he does. Undoing the Prester's work. While the hands-on diplomat gathers her things, you dispatch your bosun to the Presbyterian embassy. Then you set out yourself, leading your charge on a circuitous route. The embassy is hidden in London sewers. You are both sodden and reeking by the time you reach it. You find the door open. The office is empty. Cabinets have been plundered. Discarded documents are strewn across the floor. The hands-on diplomat gives you a level look. She slides her pistol back into her satchel, disappointed. A shame. Here, partial payment for the partial service. Aw, come on. She hands you a misty bottle, then goes inside and locks the door. Back at your ship, an urchin waits with an envelope. Inside is a letter of gratitude. Thank you. Some of my countrymen are more concerned with the law's letter than its spirit. Enclosed is a token of my gratitude. A second envelope is inside this one. A document of sensitive intelligence pilfered from the Presbyterian's files. Okay. Wow. We betrayed the broker. Not honestly all that bad. This guy seemed very grateful, and it seemed like those snuffers were actually just kind of a religious sort of thing that is more law than actual fairness, equality, something like that. They just don't like whatever those snuffers are. How's the Z faring? It's doing all right. We got a little sketched out on our way back from Frostbound, where we finally cut the Clattery Heart out of the ice. That lovely ship. It is hopefully waiting for us now in Port Carnelian for us to go and trade it up. But we also decided we would betray the avuncular broker and keep her poor target from getting murdered by the hands-on diplomat, for which we gained a judgment's egg, lovely, and strategic information, also lovely. So that's all pretty nice. Now I'll go submit some of our port reports, the ones on the way down to Port Carnelian. So the Humane Canal, yep. Let's see here. Iron Republic, sure. Now you can get the weapon with your egg. The weapon. Which weapon is this? Iron Republic we will also do. That'll give us terror. Lovely. Whoops, not you. Him. Talk with your gunner. Oh, okay. Can also talk to Port Carnelian, since we're visiting there specifically. We've got to turn that in. Anything else on the way down? I don't think so. And then anything particular? Yes. Oh, we need to go back to the Chapel of Lights. Conveniently, we need to go to Frostbound for our sigil-ridden navigator anyway, so that'll be fine. That'll be totally fine. Let's go talk with this gunner, though. We haven't actually met with him yet, because it does require torpedo components and fuel. Honestly, and 5 supplies, but honestly, we can kind of afford all of that, and I'm very interested to see what he has to say. How much space do we have? Okay, we've got enough space for all of that. So let's go buy torpedo components. They shouldn't be all that expensive, I don't think. Yeah, 5 echo, and we only need 5 of them, I think. And let's go sacrifice all of the stuff we've got and get it to him. Invite the Cannoneer to dine with you. I've had enough, thank you. I don't eat much, but I'd like to demonstrate some ideas I've had. Can you meet me on the after deck, not the aft deck? Okay, after deck at 8 bells, sure. Flowers of Flame. The Cannoneer has found ways to calibrate your weapons for additional death and explosions. When the smoke clears, however, it is impossible to deny that the risk and expense of most of these tricks are a little too great. Only a couple of minor modifications are safe to use, but you do know. But do you know, the Cannoneer says, squinting thoughtfully, it reminds me of a story. The Iron and Misery Company were testing something, destroyed one of their outlying stations, destroyed it to bits. If you could find me the prototype, I can make it work for us. Can you take me to Demew Island? I used to know the factor there. You might talk. Okay, we've got a Tale of Terror. We've gained some iron. Nice. And we now have quest for the Cannoneer, Irrepressible Cannoneer. Irrepressible Cannoneer. To go to Demew, E-A-U-X Island, I think. Yeah, E-A-U-X. That sounds right. Oh, I could totally just look it up. Duh. But cool. We have now got his quest ticked off. You still trying to form your colony? Our colony is very dead. Unless you're talking about our kingdom over in Aeshaven. Pigmote Isle is very, very dead and gone. It got blown up by the folks at Visage, and I have not visited Visage since I hate them all. But Eisteval, we are still in the process of forming our colony. We found actually a few different ways to do it. We know that Irem requires all our stats to be at 100 and an empty mirror catch box to collect presumably those very angry dream snakes, since that is a trait that we've seen before. We actually need that from them to do it somehow. Or we can talk with the folks from... let me see if I can see it. Right, the Grand Geode, the Commodore there, who requires vital intelligence, 7 crew, 50 whole supplies, the figurehead of the Eater of Names, a dread surmise, and a dread surmise, and that will also be, a way to get our kingdom set up there somehow. Not sure exactly how, but that we have been sort of siding with the Grand Geode folks. We have been improving the power of the Dawn engine, and I'm pretty sure that's, well, all of what they do there. Because we have been trading it to the Voracious Diplomat here, our information, since she pays more, which has apparently been increasing their power as well. Dream Snakes for that? You get the Dream Snakes elsewhere. Okay, interesting. There was definitely a contact in the Irem dream that I thought was a snake that told us he could help us out with that. We do only need to bring an empty mirror catch box there, so whatever we end up doing, I guess we'll just have to have that there. But considering our current stats, I think it'll take a long time to get that to all of those to 100. I think it'll be much easier to help the Commodore out instead. We'll just have to fight that figurehead of the Eater of Names to go and get that. But before we go, it's a parabox. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's good to know. I assume that only has one use. Roser's Wharf, nothing. This guy wants live specimens. Unfortunately, I've actually used all of them up for now. We will make a short trip before I end the stream here. We're going to make a short trip down to Port Carnelian, because I want that bloody ship I've been chasing across the ocean, and I want to get it now. And plus, it's not that far a trip, so we'll hopefully grab that, and we'll sail right back to Fallen London once we get it. What ship do you have now? I just have the starter ship. I've got the Nereid, the Ligeia class steamer. So I'll go do that. Right now, we should have... Hold up. Oh, right, fuel. We just used up all our fuel with the Irrepressible Cannoneer and stuff. So we will actually need to go and turn in more port reports and whatnot. Where are those port reports? There it is. At this point, we might as well just turn any and all of them in. Nuncio, Chapel of Lights, Habit Horizon, the Utter Shroom, because we will definitely be revisiting that. How is our fuel going? 9? Should be okay. We've got a lot of room, though, to fill it up. We might as well turn them all in, I suppose. Because assuming the ship is bigger, and it probably is, it will be a good idea to have fuel and supplies to fill up the bellies and engines? Yeah. Bellies and engines of the crew that we pick it up. And the reason that I am picking up, keeping Mount Palmerston is in case we need to get back to Adam's Way. Because that is one of the things we can use as payment for that. Con Shadow will reduce our terror a little bit, which will be nice. Oh, we must remember to sleep our wound away before we leave. Adam's Way, King Eater's Castle, Waker's Haven, which we'll not care about at all. Igel. How is our hold going? 2 more. Actually, I'll fill that up with food. There it is, supplies. Fill that up that way, and now we'll set out to burn some of those supplies that we just made, or some of the fuel we just picked up. We'll head on down to go pick up our new ship, hopefully. Are we traveling full speed? Does not feel like... I'm having traveled at half speed, I guess I started idolizing what full speed actually was. We'll go pick up all of the port reports on the way down, might as well. I forgot to sleep away my wound. Yeah, we're a little too far. Rest your wound. Yeah, we're a little too far out. We've only got 1 wound, and we are coming right back, so hopefully I think I should be okay. If it does ask us to rest or carry on, we will rest our wound away at sea. I don't mind using up the supply for that. Alright. Grab that. Set out. Let's carry some supplies for it. Totally worth it. It's 20 echoes average for supplies. Yeah, 20 echoes generally. I've been picking them up elsewhere. I think we've picked them up pretty often into Hoot. Occasionally at Port Carnelian for less than that. Oh, look, a little crab we can blow up. Come here, you. I need to reduce some terror and let off some steam. Get over here. Conveniently, he will reduce our hunger here as well. Yep, butcher it for supplies. You'll get a huge crew count with the new ship. Okay, that'll be good. You definitely need supplies, by the way. You'll get a huge crew count with the new ship. Yeah, we'll pick them up. I think we should be fine to make it back to Fallen London at the very least. Certainly, right? Yeah, no, I think it should totally be able to make it back. Like, it's not a ton of supply, but it is, a fair amount for a small trip like this. And it's in Port Carnelian. We can buy food there if we need to. Yeah, we can get food there for pretty cheap. We'll go say hello to the Cumaean Canal. Port report. Something awaits us. No, move in the Great Game. So we should be most of the way to the Iron Republic. That whirlpool suggests that we are just outside of it, I'm pretty sure. There it is. Go dock the Iron Republic. We may as well check out the market there. Assuming it is the market that has good food costs. I think that's a market of hungers, perhaps? We can buy food here if we need. Port report. Cavalry doctrine open for business. Tale of Terror. Memory of Distant Shores. We'll go check that out. No, this is the one that wants supplies, not sells it. So we'll just leave it as is. And we'll leave our fuel supply as is too. We'll buy more on the way back if we need it. If and when, I suppose. So let's go set across the way to Port Carnelian, which is just about this way. Nice, quiet ocean. Big fan of that right now. We've had a little bit too many close, very dangerous encounters, very close to death. We should be headed on the way there. The Z here is warm. Bubbles rise and burst with lazy menace. The fire in the earth is restless. That is a new description that I have not seen before. I don't think I've seen that one at all. Alright, there the vortexes are. Looks like the dust storm is off to our right here. There should be a behemoth stash that usually patrols somewhere around here. We'll see if he pops up. If not, I'm totally good with that. He was admittedly one of the very few behemoth stashes I knew the explicit location of, in case we needed to kill it. But it looks like we've made it to Port Carnelian unassailed. Perfect. That's absolutely useful. Okay. Retrieve the Clattery Heart. It is drawn up on the dock, waiting for its owner. No one dares touch it, but the ships that berth near her travel faster and less steadily thereafter. Consult the Clattery Air about her future. What will she do with the Clattery Heart? All day in its engine room. You find her deep in the engine room of the Clattery Heart. She's wearing oiled gloves that go above the elbow for safety, but the floor is slick with ichor. Hand me the spreader, she tells you sharply when you walk in. I need to see what is in the ventral chamber. Later, back on your own ship, you consult her about her intentions. She looks bleak. I am becoming involved, she confesses. I may need to become my own patient and remove my interest in the Clattery Heart. The air looks resolute. You've grown closer. Is that safe? So, no matter what we do, we will succeed. Fortunately, we have the option, because we told her about her father, to keep the Clattery Air and sail her ship together. Why shouldn't she serve you aboard the Clattery Heart? She's already given up enough. The loss of the legend of Mr. Iron. You suggest this neat solution to her. She doesn't need to renounce anything. She's given up believing in her father, and that's enough. Perhaps, she says, I could regard him more as an honorary family member. Do you think I could call him Uncle Iron? But she agrees to let you keep the Clattery Heart and stay on with your crew. And we now finally have the Clattery Heart. We have spent so long chasing this thing. Let's go check out our ship here. Look at that. We've got the deed to the Clattery Heart. It has 450 hull. This is, 75 times, maybe 6 times? So 5 or 6 times what our former ship had in hull space. Hold capacity is double what we had. We have 80 now instead of 20. Instead of 40, that is. Our weight, I can't quite remember the weight. I think it was 1,000. So we do have quite a bit more weight as well. We got extra quarters, most of which are filled. 3 of the spaces are gone, though, because of the we are clay bonus that we have. We get an iron, mirrors, veils, pages, and hearts bonus, though. 5 to iron, 10 to mirrors, veils, and pages apiece, and a 15. 15 to hearts. So we are doing well on stats. Yeah, stats bonuses are fantastic. But I'm most interested in this hold space because we can have finally so much more. Though I do have a feeling that most of that is going to be taken up by fuel and supplies here. I have a feeling quite a bit of that is going to be taken up by both of those. But we're done with it. We finally got the Clattery Heart. We've been chasing it for so long once we knew about its existence. Aft slot now. Oh, you're right. We now have an aft slot to fill. So there are a few things that we can fill it with. There was something, I can't remember exactly what, either in the Chelonate or in Con Shadow, that it reduced our fuel, or increased our fuel efficiency at the cost of some hearts. That's totally fine. We already gained an excess hearts from just having the ship. There may be a few more around, but that is the one that I'm specifically checking out. Put a rear gun there. Oh, we could put a rear gun. Interesting. I don't know about that. I think I'd want to take any engagements from the front, just because our deck gun is just pretty good. That is definitely a nicer gun. But I think of the aft slot, I think that fuel efficiency will be much better. Aft slot, put the Avid Suppressor. Oh, we could also put the Avid Suppressor on there as well, wherever that ends up coming up. I forget whether I've seen it already and just thought about it in passing, or if I haven't caught it up yet. We'll grab the port report while we're here. It's in London. Ah, okay. That's good to know. So you can boost without blowing up. Yeah, that's a good idea. We haven't blown too many times, but I think hopefully if we get spotted, we can quickly swap it around. We'll throw it on our ship at sea and then throw it on there instead of the fuel efficiency thing, and then we'll boost. Maybe that'll work. Who knows? Maybe they've solved for that. Let's see if our spy network can go and increase there. Oh, I see. We can drop a diplomatic agent. Has our diplomatic agent died here? Hold on a moment. Okay. Somehow our Port Carnelian diplomatic agent has expired. I guess we'll go drop off the one that we have here. It's not a very high chance, but you know, it's an option. Oh, are you kidding? Wait a minute. Whoa. Hold up. We're in Port Carnelian, not the Khanate. Why are our movements in the Khanate curtailed? Aw, come on. I am so confused as to what interaction just took place there. We'll spend some echoes. Or maybe, well, no, we'll spend some echoes. No, we'll spend some Tales of Terror. If you take candles to Mangrove College, you can pick up some searing enigmas cheap. Oh, that's good to know. Con likes blue. Need heaps of them. Oh, okay. We'll go trade our Tales of Terror to increase our network here. I don't know what just happened there. Yeah, I really have no idea why we need what the heck? Why did that gain Khanate suspicion? I'm so confused about that. But okay. Evidently another thing we might need is another diplomatic agent, or 2, Storm's attention. Not sure exactly how to get that, but well, it's good to know. Khanate is very interested in Port Carnelian. Khan loves sapphires. Yeah, we do. I do remember him saying somebody saying that. I think the Khanate official, the unofficial embassy. embassyman. What's the term? The embassy affiliate for the Khanate did mention that. So I guess that is why the Khan has a particular interest in this location. We don't have any vital intelligence, so nothing to do with our agents. We'll go and fill up on food, though. I have a feeling we're going to eat through it very quickly. So we'll take at least 10. Yeah, they're actually going to eat us out of house and home here. We'll take at least 10, and then we will set off back home. So I'm just keeping an eye on our food meter. I want to see how quickly it builds up here. Oh my goodness, it jumps by so much. It jumps by an absurd amount. Oh my god, and look at how much fuel we're consuming too. Whoa, this is going to be a way bigger drain on supplies than I thought it would be. I thought we'd kind of be set, but this is... Whoa, that's a lot of commitment here. Eat them, 32 crew, 32 crew, too many. You may be right. Going heaps quicker. Oh, you are right about that. It does feel like I am going faster, and I wouldn't doubt that it would be that way. I guess there's like a base speed increase or something like that. Well, at least we'll get across the sea faster. We do need to cull these sailors somehow. You accidentally just picked up an accountably package. We could eat it. Yeah, we could do that. Could eat them. Are at terror of 50, though. See the blood trail coming from your ship's heart? I do not see the blood trail. Oh, I do actually. There it is. Wow, what the heck? Okay, so it's like occasionally pulsing out blood. That's good, maybe bad? Yeah, not quite sure. Dock in the Iron Republic. We can open up the market again. Yeah, same sort of deal, though. It's alive. Now you can go down the river in Adam's Way. Ooh, that's good to know. Actually, that'll be something very interesting, because we can go further south than we've ever been. That is the south edge of the map for sure. I might try to shore up our echo supply, though. We have a ton of echo. Well, what I consider a ton of echoes, but I am very concerned with the rate that we're going through fuel and food, that we won't have enough. I'm very concerned indeed. Take 100 plus veils, though. Oh yeah, that we definitely do not even have nearly that much. Let's go and set ourselves off. Yeah, I can see that that splotch of blood that you were talking about, though. You can definitely see it popping up periodically. It is so weird piloting this heart of a ship. That is very strange indeed. It is nice that we don't have to worry nearly as badly about hull and stuff, though. Can we still see... Yeah, we can still see just about the same amount with our deck gun. That makes sense, though. We didn't change guns or anything. This crew is going to eat us out of house and home, though. How do we deal with that? Can we... You know, we can't click on it or anything. Can we request that some of them depart? I have no idea. I suppose we'll see. Let your supplies run out and eat them. I feel like that would probably wreck our terror, though. I mean, I guess we could always get it reduced in Fallen London, but that seems concerning. I think you just keep the crew and pay for the extra echoes. I could, but they're honestly going to eat me out of house and home if I do that. Do it close to home. You lose them sooner or later. Do you have a submariner? I have a submarine. I don't know if there's a specific submariner that I need. But yeah, maybe I'll just set off without... I'll set off for like a cursory trip around the closer areas of the Neath to Fallen London. Maybe I'll do that and then let them kind of eat it. Oh, the DLC. Okay, yes, I do have the DLC. Yes. I thought you were talking about a specific character named the Submariner or something. Okay, you don't attack me. Attack bad. Go sail out to Astavul, run supplies to Hideaway. Good chance to lose crew and make money. Okay. Honestly, I haven't found Hideaway. We've searched a lot of the eastern edge of the map. We'll go take that because we're trying to run out of food right now. We searched a good chunk of the map. I thought it would really be down here somewhere because we had a big chunk of this not searched out, but we didn't find it anywhere. I assume it's in this area, maybe up here. Or it could just be in one of these little patches that we haven't explored. Trying to get to 40 secrets still. I do want a few secrets. I was thinking of the secrets to specifically get these up, but that'll take a lot of time. I can't remember exactly why I would have wanted 40 secrets specifically. Play chess. Chess increases terror. I don't know if secrets do anything. We've lost most of our chess games, though. Oh. Ah, come on. There's a perfectly boring explanation for the light, which is turning blue. This is a very strange conversation I'm having. I'm trying to, get rid of some crew. I can't fire them or anything. But if they ate each other or if they died at sea, well, they wouldn't be bad for me. But I don't want them to be too terrified. It's a very mobstery conversation. If you complete the chest quest, you get a ton of secrets. Oh, okay, I see. Well, we don't have anything controlled on board. We do have a mirror catch box, but boy, is it empty. Okay. But, that is that. We've made it back to Fallen London. We'll go turn in all of our port reports. Yep. Oh. That kicked us out. Probably exploded again. Yep, probably. Port Carnelian, Quaker's Haven, Dahoot, Demude Gate, Gant Pole, Low Barnet. Oh, we don't have strategic information. Ignore that. Any more port reports? Probably just Mount Palmerston, right? And I am keeping that for Adam's Way. You're not at an extreme? Yes, I am. Unfortunately, we are about half an hour over stream time, and we are an hour and a half over the time that I usually end the stream, because I started a bit late today. But we managed to get quite a few things done on the stream. We managed to finally chase the Clattery Heart all the way from Adam's Way. We found it up in Khan's Shadow, and then found traces of it leading to Frostfound, where we finally cut it out the ice, dropped it off in it dropped itself off in Port Carnelian. We picked it up here finally. So that is finally done. We don't have to worry nearly so much about Hull or taking on big old scary sea monsters. We ran a few mirror catch boxes from Astavul to Nook to the Chelinet for about 700 echoes, 500 echoes profit each time, somewhere thereabouts. We do still have to, unfortunately, go to Khan's Heart here, pick up the romantic literature, because we did not have that. We had our old ship, which did not have any space, unfortunately, for that. And we can also go to the Utter Shroom to go grab more live specimens for our poissonnier, our cook here, because unfortunately, he... Well, actually, hold up. Might be able to do it with the strange catchers. Let's see if this is working here. Nope, that did nothing. Is he ever going to have a successful culinary masterpiece here? Turn in one more. Nope. Yeah, still a failure there. Oh well. We'll go get more we'll go convert more strange catches to live specimens of the Utter Shroom. Honestly, now that we've got this ship, we might just fill our. Let's go check it here. Our ship up with all of these study materials. Let's see if I can find that. Where's our study? Our lodgings. There it is. So we'll go get the recent news, and that'll reduce our Tales of Terror. We only have the Serene Aquarium, for which we need a live specimen, and the Whispering Trophy Case, for which we need the Strange Catches, both of which we can get very regularly. And then we will only need, well, all the rest of this to write the Song of the Z. If I do manage to create that, I think I'll call myself good on Sunless Sea. That'll probably be with the next captain, though. I think this captain is probably going to set up a kingdom. It seems like that's probably the best option, unless he dies. I think I'll be going for the kingdom setup on Aestival. And maybe with the next captain, we can pass everything down. We can write the Song of the Z, and I'll call that good. And maybe we'll move on to Sunless Skies. That'll be a nice little change of pace. I've also heard that is a little better in terms of combat, because this one's a little difficult to figure out. There's not too much to do about the Z beasts, and it's kind of just circling in ship battles. We're just trying to stay on their aft. So maybe the live battling in the Sunless Skies will be a little better. But that'll be way, way, way off in the future. For now, I'm going to go and end the stream. Well, first I will sleep in our lovely lodgings, just to get rid of our wound and get in some restful night. 2 of them. And I will call that stream pretty much good. I will be coming back to Sunless Sea on Thursday through PST. Hopefully shouldn't show up late like I did today. But I will be showing up sometime around or shortly after 3. If you're not just interested in the Sunless Sea stuff, I will be showing up back tomorrow with the Sevtech Ages mod. We have just got most of the components required to build an arc furnace there. Sevtech Ages is a Minecraft mod based around long-term industrialization and upgrade paths, that sort of thing. So if you're interested at all in that, then feel free to show up. I hope you guys hope to see you guys at one of those 2 times, and if not, I hope you guys find your own heart, turn it into a big old ship, and sail across the sea. For me, though, I'm gonna head out. Cheers, everybody.